days. Familiar skies and a well-worn path. Oh yeah, I need a clown to cover up my escape. The clock is an unforgiving warning. Who watches as I'm off mistaken? Is it deep enough to risk it? Am I too broken to fix it? Sinking deeper in the bottom.
Good evening and welcome, baseball fans, to Arnold Anderson Stadium in Brantford, Ontario for some Sunday night Canadian Baseball League action and a rescheduled matchup between the visiting Barrie Baycats and your Brantford Base Invaders. We are back for the second edition of Base Invaders Baseball in 2026. Hi, everybody. Marshall Crocker on the call, as always, the voice of the Brantford Red Sox. Glad to be back in the booth joining you. We've been away. We've had some staffing difficulties and myself some medical on and offs, but we're back. We're good to go. We are ready to take you down the stretch. 3 ball games in the next 6 nights, and we can't wait to join you. Alongside me in all 3 of those games, it's going to be the man himself, the former umpire, the former bench boss, the man who knows everything there is to know about baseball in this league. Mr. Brian Hawley joins me once again. Brian, we have a high bar to reach when it comes to the puns here today. Last time we had a Brantford Base Invaders game, I think it was one of our best. I think we were in peak form when it came to the entertainment, but today, I think the ball game might do the entertainment value for us. Of course, this game, like it was looking a couple nights ago, not going to be for playoff seeding, playoff contention. Barrie has locked themselves in at least to the 5th seed in the league, but of course, the storyline for Barrie into this game for the Baycats fans, playoff seeding. Right now, Barrie sits as the 5 seed. They would be the visiting side for the play-in round, currently against the very incredibly hot at home Hamilton Cardinals. That's a matchup that Barrie wants to get out of that 5 seed. They need this win today. But for the Brantford Red Sox, it's the best winning streak overall in 13 years. 2013 was the last time the Brantford Red Sox won 5 in a row. They're going to look to make it 6 today. It feels like even though we're at the end of August, this doesn't matter for playoff seeding. It feels like there's still a lot on the table tonight, doesn't it?
Well, it certainly does. And, yeah, it's been a really great stretch for Brantford. They finally have gotten all 4 factors figured out. Hitting better, they're pitching better, they're playing better defense, and their in-game adjustments are much better than it was at the start of the season. There were some games earlier on this year that were very winnable games, but they just seem to find ways to lose those games. And you take a look at a team like Welland, they come up with ways to win games, and that was pretty much the biggest difference between a Welland and a Brantford through the first 30-ish games or something like that. But there's been something really cool happening lately. You look at individual players like Connor Irvin has been on a really, really nice stretch pitching the ball. Excuse me. And who is hotter in this league than Christian Kuzemka? I'm running out of superlatives for this guy. He's something like 20 for his last 32. He's on an 8-game hitting streak. He's hit 7 home runs in his last 3 games. And he is absolutely ripping the cover off the ball in just a phenomenal stretch. But he's not the only one. Cantor hitting again. Ortega looks great. Brody Black looks great. He's a 15-15 guy, like a 15 home run, 15 stolen base potential. They're playing really good defense, especially up the middle. Walker Hultgren is not hitting a lot, but he is giving them elite-level defense, and that is so important in this game. They're getting good catching. They're getting good infield defense up the middle and good center fielder, and that is so important to be the base for your defense.
And it was such an important focus of the team in 2025. Remember that Brantford Red Sox 6 in a row at home streak at the end of 2025. It kind of built the morale. It kind of built the confidence that the momentum would carry over into the new Canadian Baseball League era. I think this is even better for Brantford, that not only can they do it at home, but these big road wins, including against this very Barrie Baycats team yesterday, 12-8 win there. That was another one you talk about. It had everything. It had defense, it had quality pitching, and of course, some more long balls, some more effective offense. So I think it's going to be one thing for Brantford to come out of this and say, all right, we can rattle off a couple more wins at home, but I think the Barrie Baycats are going to get Brantford's best shot today to try to preserve that streak and try to go out on the high memories of last season that I think really built up into this year. I think they want to do that again into 2027. Let's take a look as we're waiting there. We see the sun peeking out from behind the clouds in left field. Of course, this game was expected to go at 2 o'clock. Weather due to the rain that kind of hit us in the late morning, early afternoon. This was postponed to take care of the field conditions. 7 o'clock, of course, we're going to start roughly at that time, provided the clouds cover up the sun there out in left. Let's take a look at your starting pitcher matchup. And, well, I kind of said it. These teams care about this game. This one is one with high stakes. You want to know how I know that? It's the ace on both sides for each rotation. It's going to be Juan Benitez going up against Connor Irvin. You look at the numbers there, Brian, fairly similar in a lot of categories. The ERA is nearly identical. Losing records on both sides, but that doesn't really, speak to the pitching performance at all. Almost equal innings, the two workhorses of these two rotations. They're getting their best shot, and Connor Irvin's been red hot as a late defending CBL pitcher of the week. This might be the best matchup he's had on the mound, though, in terms of difficulty in the last couple weeks.
Well, the thing about Juan Benitez is that he doesn't strike out a whole lot of guys. He pitches to contact, and so you will get hits off him. Brantford will get opportunities to score, but he's one of the best pitchers I've seen in this league over the last few years at getting himself out of trouble. I can remember playing Brantford back in 23. We were up there late in the season in a big game. We had 8 hits. We walked 5 times in 7 innings, 13 base runners in 7 innings, and we lost that game 3-1. So he is fantastic getting himself in and then getting himself back out of trouble. Connor Irvin, on the other hand, has been really, really good the last couple of starts. He pitched a complete game, 7-inning first end of the doubleheader, and then he came out and gave us, I think, 6 1/3 or so in the last start. The big difference for him, I believe, is this. He calls it a spinner. It's a curveball, but it's an off-speed curveball. And really, nobody likes swinging at it. So a lot of times he'll use it early in the count, sort of a get-me-over curveball to get it to 0-1, or he'll throw it on hitters' counts for 2-0, 3-1, and just throw that little spinner in there, and they always spin on it. They never seem to swing at it because it's a good 10 mile an hour slower than his regular pitches are. But add that to the fact that his cutter looks fantastic. He's locating it really well. Pitching is just like real estate, location, location, location. I keep saying it from one broadcast to the next. And so when he can throw that cutter on the middle part of the plate and have it cut out into the outside part of the plate and get it off the sweet spot and get soft contact. The other thing, too, is that he likes to work quickly. A very refreshing thing to see in this league because there's not a lot of pitchers that do that want to work quickly. So Connor gets out there, gets the ball back, looks in, gets his sign, boom, he's off. And that's why he's also very good for your team defense. Your team defense loves a guy who throws the ball quickly, gets it put into play, and gets them active so they're not sinking into the mud as they're standing around waiting for the ball to be hit.
Andy's got his most experienced battery mate today. Cassidy Wonka to be the starting catcher. Andrew Savage not in the starting lineup on offense for the Brantford Red Sox, or should I say base invaders today. This will be Benitez's second start this season against Brantford, first on the road. He pitched 5 innings of 1-run ball, 3 hits allowed there in 5 innings back on July 23rd. Well, this is going to be a fun one. Let's take a look, if we can, at the Canadian Baseball League standings. We talked about the implications of this game for the Barrie Baycats, and I've been talking of voices all around the league when it comes to baseball. Nobody can agree who the big threats are into this playoff run. Everybody has hope for different teams. Everybody has different belief. You see, the Guelph Royals have now leapfrogged the Hamilton Cardinals up in that 3 seed. So now Hamilton would theoretically be hosting that game against Barrie. You see, Barrie has the 2 losses, so the Cardinals have the same number of wins. A couple losses for them down the road mean Barrie could host that play-in game. But again, you talk about the 2 factors everybody's scared about for Hamilton. It's the home record, the fact they have been dominant at home. I believe it's 15-7, and that pitching rotation, that top-end pitching staff. Are you facing Owen Boone? Are you facing Hector Yan? It doesn't matter. You're going to get their best shot in that play-in. I think, again, this game very important for Barrie. They're out of the playoff order. Brantford can't catch, but they still got a lot to play for today.
Yeah, they can certainly play spoiler in this last week. They've got 4 or 5 games going on. They've got Hamilton again. They've got Guelph again. And so you've got a situation where you're going to be able to play that spoiler role and really mess up the thing. So you look at those standings, you look at the top 2 teams who are playing each other right now. I think it was 5-2 for Welland in the 3rd inning last I heard before I drove up here. And they've kind of separated themselves a little bit from the top. Played 40 with only 4 games left heading into the last week. So those last 3 teams, and remember, it wasn't long ago, Barrie Baycats were about the best team in the first month.
100%.
And Guelph Royals were a team that everybody thought if anybody was going to slip out of that playoff spot, everybody thought it was going to be Guelph. But look at Guelph. They've got the pitching, and that's at the end of the day, you look at all those top 5 teams, they're the ones with the best starting pitching. Son of a gun, they're the ones in a playoff spot.
Well, the best starting pitcher for the Brantford side is going to go today, and we are just moments away. The national anthem going to get kicked off. When we return, we're going to be ready for first pitch between Barrie and Brantford. Don't go anywhere. And with the anthem concluded, we are ready for baseball. Brantford's ace will take them out, start getting warmed up, and get ready for the top of the first inning. With that, let's take a look at the Barrie Baycats offensive unit that is going to try to get to Connor Irvin early here today. There you see the Baycats order leading it off. It's a rare day not on the defensive side for Noel McGarry-Doyle. He's today's designated hitter. He'll lead off for Barrie. Nolan Macabrota, the big bat, will play in the 2 spot at first base. Francisco Hernandez will play shortstop in the 3. Noah Hull going to play out in left today. He's in the 4. Wandy Cyprian has been incredible this season. He's hit well against Brantford in particular. He's going to be there in the 5. Clayton Keys, Brendan Daly, it's the right fielder and the second baseman, respectively, in the 6-7. Carson Barker in the 8. And there's an interesting placement there. Brian Canese-Ejo going to hit in the wraparound spot. Going to close out the lineup there at center field.
That's a little confusing to me. At one point, he was leading the home run chase, and he's a fantastic hitter. I don't know, maybe he's a little banged up. We sure saw that in the last couple of days where players are kind of limping to the finish line. Some of them, it's a long season for these guys. And maybe for those who watch Major League Baseball, they don't think 48 games is a lot. But when you're playing 3-4 games a week with the travel, and some of these guys still have day jobs as well, man, it's a tough road to hoe for some of these guys. And they play hard. These guys come out and they play full bore every time they're out there. And, sometimes you get banged up, shoulders get sore. Raspberries on legs from sliding, what have you, and or you get hit by a pitch, and the stat just went out on social media there about all the hit by pitch.
Yeah.
Some teams have been hit averaging over 1 a game this season. So, a lot of these guys are playing hurt, and they're just stretching it out to the end of the season.
Well, let's take a look on the other side. Let's take a look at the Brantford Base Invaders defensive there, the units that are going to be patrolling, protecting the Galaxy out there in the outfield and the infield. It'll be Francisco Martinez, Walker Holker, Brody Black, the outfield, left to right. On the inside, Chris Ortega, of course, going to play at first. AJ Carosis gets the start today. He'll be the second baseman. On his opposition on the other corner, it's Cantor and Holick there at short and third. Cassidy Watt, the man behind the dish today. Andrew Savage will not start for the first time in a number of ball games at home. Of course, Cassidy Watt and Connor Irvin, an experienced battery here for Brantford. They're going to be the ones to try to keep the 5-game winning streak going. Let's get set for first pitch. First pitch is a strike on the outside corner, and we always talk about it, Brian. Connor Irvin's early ball game. Is he going to get the calls on the edge of the zone? That is going to decide how the early phases go. Swing and a miss past that one. McGarry-Doyle misses to make it 0-2.
Well, I can tell you from my experience behind the plate all those years, you can earn that respect. You can earn those calls. When you're around the plate all night long, you will get those borderline calls. It happens every time.
That one fouled off hard over the third base area. McGarry-Doyle, of course, well established, one of the best hitters in the Canadian Baseball League and one of the most experienced outfielders. Again, you talk about the players taking a little bit of rest, getting a day off on defense. I'm sure we'll see 95 out there in center come playoff time. Up a little bit too high. Home plate umpire goes the way of the batter. Make it 1-2.
And now you get an idea as to the sense of the pace in which Connor Irvin wants to pitch. He looks in, he gets the ball back from his catcher. He looks in, gets a sign, and he delivers the ball. And that is...
Comebacker right into the glove. Connor Irvin. That's a way to start a ball game. I think he was surprised with the magic trick he pulled. Comes up with the baseball. McGarry-Doyle lines it directly at Connor Irvin.
That was dangerous. He almost got hit in the satellites there, I tell you what. And so a good reaction by Connor Irvin there. Almost got Charlie Brown, and that is a very dangerous situation. But if there are any young viewers watching this game, it's very important for you young pitchers to release the ball in a defensive position, and that way you're prepared to protect yourself, much like Connor Irvin did just right there.
That one fouled off over third base fencing by Nolan Macabrota, the man from Saskatoon. Two-time All-CBL, two-time All-Star, of course, former champion with Barrie.
This is a formidable batting lineup in Barrie.
That one drops in. There's that breaking pitch you were talking about to make it 0-2.
That's the spinner, and I love that pitch. And like I said, you'll count on one hand the number of times that batters will actually swing at that pitch.
Really get another whiff on 0-2. He won't get a call. A little bit too high. Make it 1-2 to Macabrota.
Nice take there by Macabrota. Just a pitch just above the belt there. They're trying to get him to extend the strike zone and swing at that one, but good take there to hold off on it.
Nearly 40 punch-outs for Nolan, but also nearly 20 walks. Here's the 1-2. Gets him right down Main Street. Checks him up in the hands. First K of the day for Connor Irvin looking.
And that's the cutter there that comes in hard, and it's good to use on lefty hitters as well, where you can throw that in the middle. You can do twofold. You can throw it in the middle of the plate and have it bust in on the hands where it's in a spot where you can't likely swing at it, or you can start it off as a strike and bust it in off the plate and get a sort of what we call back footing the hitter, where you have the ball break in towards his back foot where it started as a strike and get a swing and miss there.
First pitch, a called strike in the top corner to league veteran Francisco Hernandez, going to hit into today's 3 spot.
The home plate umpire is hearing it from the Barrie bench about his strike zone already. I never really understood such complaints, frankly, because it's the first inning and he hasn't even established his strike zone yet. So when you start complaining about it this early, you're asking for trouble there because you're not doing yourself any favors when the umpire is sore at you.
Second pitch low to even the count at 1 apiece to the man from Montreal, Quebec. That one popped up in the air, should be easily playable out to pretty shallow right field. Black is under it. He'll make the catch in a quick 1-2-3 inning of work, and Connor Irvin's start. The CBL pitcher of the week, looking every bit of it early.
Absolutely. That's something I failed to mention in the pregame. How good has he been? Well, he was player of the week good last week. And frankly, we've got another guy in Brantford who might afford himself the same award with Porcelado pitching over 8 innings against Hamilton on Monday, and then went deep into yesterday's. I think it was 6. Was it 6, 5 1/3, or 6
right.
innings?
Yep.
And got the win last night as well in Barrie. So, and there's Benitez. And now Benitez, like I said, he will throw a lot of strikes. He doesn't get a ton of swing and miss. He can frustrate hitters because he gets you to hit his pitch and get soft contact. So you'll get some hits off him. And you just got to make sure that you're patient with him and make him throw your pitch in that opportunity when you've got runners on.
Well, the man from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, the 34-year-old Benitez, starting to get warmed up on the mound there. 6'6", 210. He doesn't look a tall frame from looking at him. Not particularly, a little bit of a lanky frame, but you really see it in his release. He has a really nice release point, really good mechanics, and he's a guy that I always feel he does a good job when we see him here in Brantford. His fastball comes out in just enough of different ways that it looks like a different pitch. He'll switch the speed up on it. He'll tactically use kind of the slower velo fastball at times. He's just a true veteran of this league that even beyond the pitch mix, even beyond the names of his repertoire, he's got different ways to release, different ways to, shake up what you're seeing. And I think both these guys today, there, Brian, especially with Connor Irvin adding in that, what did you call it?
The spinner.
The spinner. Adding in the spinner into his repertoire, I think that just gives him a longevity now to get to switch up what batters are seeing each time through the order. Both these guys could very realistically go three times through the order. That's not something we say often about Brantford ball games.
Well, and that's been the another big change over the last few weeks of this improved Brantford club is the fact that their starting pitchers are getting deeper and deeper into games. And, when Irvin throws a complete game, 7 innings, and Porcelado goes 8, and then that's because you remember about a month ago we said the longest start of the season was only once had a starting pitcher in about the first 30 games of the season. Only one starting pitcher actually went over 6 innings. And that was Irvin.
Right?
And since then, we've had about 4 more in the last 10 or 12 games. So it's been really nice to see. And we said all along that this is a batting order and a defense that can compete with the best teams. It's just their starting pitching hasn't been what they'd hoped it would be. And we're going to see how this is going to go with Benitez now.
Well, leading it off, it is, of course, JC, the man from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It is Jacob Cantor, and he's a guy who, in addition to getting in a bit of a rhythm with his batting form, of course, walking at as high a rate as ever, he's also found the pop in that bat a little bit. We've seen a couple homers in recent success for the man from Philadelphia, 2 since August 16th. First pitch up a little bit high, Benitez. This is his lowest career season when it comes to walks per 9, walking just over a batter and a half per 9 innings. Right down Main Street, ball rolls out of the glove, 1-1. Cantor steps back in. It'll be Cantor, Black, Ortega, the first 3. Just a miss at the end of the barrel there. Cantor swings and misses past it to make it 1-2.
Like a lot of pitchers at this level, Benitez throws a nice cut fastball. The cutter, same type of thing. The difference was he tends to get a little bit more depth in it than others do. So it's almost going to look like a late breaking slider.
Benitez taking his time, shakes off a couple, now deals. Up a little bit too high. Nice take there by JC, make it 2-2. Cantor was 2 for 5, came home to score twice yesterday, also added a walk. Paris swipes as well.
Really is a nice spark at the top of this lineup.
Now when he gets a piece of, sends it off to third base, making the grab, getting it there in time. Nice play there by the Barrie defense. It's Barker off to Macabrota. Let's take a look at the Brantford Red Sox, base invaders offensive lineup. We saw Jacob Cantor. Brody Black now walks up to the plate. Chris Ortega and the very red-hot Christian Kazemka, today's designated hitter. We haven't seen that too many times this season from Christian, the guy who's the ultimate utility defender. Tim Holick, Francisco Martinez, AJ Carosis going to hit today in the lineup as a starter. Cassidy Wan, the only one of the two catchers in the lineup today for Brantford. And Walker Holgren going to be the wraparound to the 9th spot over the head of the second baseman. Brody Black, the first hit of the ball game, and a no-doubter on the first pitch he sees, lined off into right.
And that's why it's important to go up there when you're facing Benitez. It's important to go up there expecting to swing the bat because he will fill up the zone. He doesn't walk very many at all. And so you got to get up there and be ready to swing the bat. And when you get a good pitch to hit, jump on it because you're not likely sitting around waiting for a walk there.
Well, with this start, this will be the most games Chris Ortega has played in a CBL season. This will be his 42nd contest of the year. He's up over his total from last season, led the league in RBIs in 2025. Well, he beat that total in the same number of games this season, 48 ribbies. Heading into this one, now he's got a man in front of him. Up in the air, very high popped. Should be an easy catch there for the defenders. Well, either the shortstop or the third baseman. It will be the shortstop. Hernandez makes the grab.
Got a pitch to hit there, was out in front of it, got it off the end of the bat and popped it up. And that's the thing is that, and so hang on here, folks, because this is a guy that you don't want to face if you're the opposition. Where are the numbers now? 20 of his last 32, an 8-game hitting streak, 7 home runs in his last 3 games. He's yanking him down the line as he did in Toronto.
And there's another hit for Christian Kazemka, the hottest bat in the Canadian Baseball League. Keeps it going, another single. Puts 2 on for the base invaders.
I'm telling you, this guy won Player of the Week, and he's still got this game to play. I mean, he already had the game. He may have had the Player of the Week one after Friday night's performance when he was Player of the Game here with a home run, 2 RBIs, and a run scored. And then he went up to Barrie last night and hit 2 more home runs. And now it's a 9-game hitting streak for Kuzemka. And the only problem with Kuzemka is he's going to run out of games. I mean, if he keeps swinging like this, if he started swinging like this a month ago, he'd be winning MVP.
Christian is averaging 3 hits a game during this Red Sox win streak. Just
including
unbelievable.
That unbelievable 5-hit performance in
Toronto.
In Toronto, yes.
3 home runs, 9 RBIs.
Yep.
0-1 becomes 0-2. Tim Holick just barely swings past it. Today's 5-hitter.
So manager Terry Smith having no choice but to move Kazemka up. Holick's been the 4-hitter most of this season. I think they started the season Holick 3 and Ortega 4,
yep.
But after the injury to Holick, they moved Ortega up to 3 and just plugged Tim in the 4-hole. And they've jacked Kazemka right up to the 4-hole now because you can't get him out.
Benitez looking to end the inning here. 0-2, 2 outs. Getting a piece of it is Holick, who puts it up and over our heads. Count remains 0-2.
So here comes the very definition of what I was talking about with Juan Benitez. He will give up hits. He will give up base runners. The key is he is so elusive when you need that one hit to knock a run in. So will Holick be able to get through that and put a good swing on a pitch to hit here?
Another 0-2. Inside on the hands, Holick gets just enough of it. It was a slider that looked like it may creep its way back into the zone for a called strike 3. Good job by Holick to keep it alive. So remember, man on second, man on first. It's Black and Kazemka. We'll hope to run here. We've seen Black be a little shifty there off on second. Benitez keeping an eye on and off on him. 0-2, he deals. Holick gets another piece of it. 3rd straight foul ball. He's staying in this one.
Good at bat here for Tim. Fouled off 3 straight.
number 5 hitter for the Base Invaders will look to be a base advancer here. Another 0-2. Getting a piece of it up in the air. This time should be playable. Off over Nolan Macabrota, trips as he goes for the foul ball. Wouldn't have had a play on it anyway, but Tim Holick fouls a 4th straight pitch off.
Yeah, it just was fortunate enough there to get it into a spot where nobody could get to it, and he got it a bit off the hands there. Nice pitch by Benitez.
You want to make sure Macabrota's all right. He took a big spill there running off into foul territory. He's a big man. The bigger they are, the harder they fall when it comes to running on defense.
Say.
I can speak for that myself. 0-2, 2 outs. Warming up is the similarly red-hot recently Francisco Martinez in the on-deck circle.
Yeah, he's had a real nice bounce back after a long absence.
Holick is ready. Can he foul off another one? He puts that one foul, 5th in a row. That is the 7th pitch. Make this the 8th pitch of this at-bat.
All strikes.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think that comeback slider he got in on the hands, he just managed to foul off to start this streak. I think that would have been strike 3 on only 3 pitches. This is why these at-bats can be productive, even without a hit.
Of course, this has been what's going on here in Brantford for the last few weeks as well. Good, tough at-bats. They just continually have good at-bats, and that is so important.
Just enough moving from Black at second as well. That one is sent through the infield. There's the hit by Holick on the 8th pitch he sees. Runner coming around. The Base Invaders are on the board in the very first inning. They've conquered the Galaxy at least once tonight. First run of the ball game is Brody Black scoring off a single from Tim Holick.
Well, just a nice piece of hitting there. He had that, you talked about that high inside slider that came in on him, that he fouled off down the first base line, and that pitch was also up and in on the hands, and he just kept the hands in, got the heavy part of the bat through the strike zone with speed, and managed to get it past the shortstop for a base hit.
It's the value of keeping the at-bat extended. He saw as many pitches there as some batters might see in 4 trips to the plate in 1 trip against Benitez.
Yeah, it's so important to have the ability as a hitter to pull your hands in and hit that inside pitch, because any good pitcher is going to come into your kitchen, and unless you make them pay for that, they're just going to keep coming in there until you manage to hit them.
So 1-0 is the count off a wide ball given to Francisco Martinez. They try the pick there at second. Ducking out of the way is the base runner. He's on safe. Kuzemka remains at second. Martinez, today the 3rd time this season he's played the Barrie Baycats. Again, a late addition to this roster. He didn't play from June 6th to August 9th. But since he's come back, he's been very effective, and he takes ball 2.
Interesting now that Benitez has used both of his disengagements on this at bat, so they're not really holding Kuzemka close. He could take off here if he wanted to.
There's a called strike. First one there for Benitez makes it 2-1.
I realize there are 2 out, and I am not a proponent of making the 3rd out at third base, but if they're not going to hold you on and he can't disengage, then you're almost free to take off there. Similarly, not holding him on at first as you would expect with a runner on second base. So a double steal is in play here if the Base Invaders so choose.
As per the league database, at least, Christian Kuzemka has never stolen a base in the CBL. So we'll see if this scenario changes his efforts. Swing and a miss past that one that drops in nicely. Benitez evens it up at 2 apiece.
Benitez pulling the string there, taking a little bit off that breaking ball, and got Martinez out ahead of it.
Martinez hitting .269 on the year, 8 walks to 12 strikeouts. He's good in these late counts. That one put in play right at the shortstop. Takes a high hop, a bouncer, thrown to second to record the out. And that will get them out of the inning, but not before the Base Invaders can put one up on the board. Brantford leads at home through the first inning of work. 3 hits, 1 run, and it's off the bat of Tim Holick as it's Brody Black who will score another run and what has been a very hot run of form. And we talk about pregame, Brian, obviously. Christian Kuzemka has been red hot. Chris Ortega's had the power out the wazoo since the All-Star break, but it is really the even ability from the entire offense all the way through to put men on in front, particularly that beginning of the order. Again, Jacob Cantor started to heat up once again. Brody Black had the rough game on the road last week against Guelph. Other than that, he's good for one or two appearances on base a game. The stat I was going to mention for Martinez He's only had one game. I believe he's played 15 since he came back mid-season from that absence until August. He's only had one no-hit game, like 0-hit game since he returned. So that ability from the top of the Brantford order to just put men on, this team, these bats for Brantford have always had good RBI ability. They're big and when it counts. They can bring men around. They just haven't had the men to score. That combined with the ability on the base pass, I think Brantford, they've tightened up those little offensive things that we saw at the beginning of the season and often would spell disaster in those extra inning games. You just wouldn't have men on. You'd have the big hit, but you wouldn't be able to produce enough runs, and the other team would just outscore you.
Well, that's a great point that you make. And on top of that, you look at the bottom of the order that they've been putting up good at-bats as well. The ability to turn the order over is equally important. So you got the bottom of the order, and today that's Carosis, Watt, and Hultgren. But in the past, you've also seen Lucas Lefebvre or Lucas Bateman or some other guys that have been on there as
Charlie
well.
Towers here and there.
Ian Antone, Charlie Towers. And so at the end of the day, the ability to turn the order over, these guys getting on, this is the very definition of a dangerous batting order, and hitting is contagious in baseball, 100%. And so at the end of the day, you've got top of the order that's getting on base, you got a middle of the order that's bringing people in, and you got a bottom of the order that's turning it over as well. And that is why they've been on this nice little run, part of it anyways.
Well, we're keeping an eye there on the YouTube channel here in the booth. We always thank you for joining in, giving us your thoughts, letting us know how you're feeling, whether you're watching out there in Barrie, here in Brantford, or anywhere in between. We thank you for supporting Canadian baseball. We love having the visiting fans. We love getting to chat with you guys. Connor Irvin drops that one in. It's called the ball there to open it up. Here is Connor looking at his live ERA. He's working his way down towards getting into the fives. He was up at the double digits early in this season. Great to see the turnaround he's had. He's trying to keep it going here against the four hitter. It's Barrie, who's back up to bat. Noah Hull sends that one foul to make it 1-1.
Yeah, you referenced the chat there. I was reading in the chat that one person on there wanting to have a limit on how many foul balls are allowed in a certain at-bat. I respectfully disagree. I think that's one of the best parts of baseball is those long, drawn-out at-bats. That's a battle. That's as close to a one-on-one battle as baseball gets. You see those in football. You see those in hockey. You see those in basketball. Not a lot of that in baseball, and that's really the only opportunity we get to get those drawn-out battles. And the winner of that battle can really bring up the momentum for his team.
100%. Favorite baseball moment of all time for me, it's not a catch, it's not a home run. It's Eric Gagne versus Barry Bonds in 2004, the greatest plate appearance of all time. Deep count battle. That's what you want to see from the great players.
In fact, I just saw, and I was going to bring it up on Friday night in the broadcast, Connor Morrow had a 16-pitch at bat on Thursday night.
Swing and a miss past that one. Make the count 3-2.
And drew a walk, which means in 16 pitch at bat, even if you go 3-2, that's 5. That is 10 pitches fouled off in a row until he walked on the 16th pitch. And that is entertainment as far as I'm concerned. Not everybody loves it. I get that. But for me, that's what it is.
The 25-year-old from Scarborough there. Hull sends that one foul to keep it alive. This will be the 7th pitch he sees. So it's Hull, Cyprian, Keys, the three we'll see here for Barrie at the bare minimum. That one fouled back once again. Speaking of long at-bats, this will be the 8th pitch. Feels a lot shorter, but it's just because Irvin is so quick to deal.
Well, and that's why, frankly, he's one of my favorite pitchers. I really like him. I've had many opportunities to have discussions with him, but one of the favorite pitchers of mine to watch because of the pace in which he works.
Swing and a miss. Past it. Second punch out. First swinging for Connor Irvin on the long at bat.
Really good location there. It's one of those pitches that's too low to leave and too high to hit.
That's exactly what you want to do if you're Irvin. Which will bring up another man from Santo Domingo, second of the batting order here, Wandy Cyprian. Of course, the rookie all-star. I went up a little bit too high for ball one. Wandy sitting on a 7-game hitting streak into today. Swings and misses past that one to make it one apiece.
Cyprian has been a real thorn in the side of these Brantford Red Sox. I have no empirical evidence on that, but my eyes tell me that he has hurt them a couple of times, including the last time that they were here.
Doesn't get the call there. I think he's going to say a little low or a little wide, make it 2-1.
Just a little out there, I think.
There you see Cyprian. Irvin deals. That one fouled back. One pitch away is Irvin from strikeout number 3. Yeah, Cyprian's been awesome to watch this year. He was it was a tough ballot this year voting for the 2026 All-Star game there in Chatham, but guys like Cyprian did make it easy to place some early votes.
He's having a really good season.
Gets the call on the outside. Strikeout 3, second one looking. Connor Irvin racking up the Ks once again.
Well, Cyprian's going to want that one when he gets in behind the plate, that's for sure. That the home plate umpire has a fairly liberal strike zone, one of those late season strike zones that we see sometimes. And I don't mean that to be critical of the umpire. The strike zone is the strike zone, but certainly everything that has the appearance of catching the outside of the plate is being called a strike. It looks like he's being a little snug on the inside. You can't get both sides of the plate, otherwise nobody will be able to hit the baseball. So having said that, all the players want is consistency, and thus far I feel like he's giving it to them.
That one struck very well out to right field. Ranging back for it's Brody Black. That one's got a chance to go, but it won't. Nice catch by the right fielder, Clayton Keys, the man who got a huge piece of that one. Not quite enough. The wind there, Brian, has been generally speaking blowing from the outfield straight at us here in the commentary booth. It's cooled off a little bit, but that one had good contact, just couldn't find its way out.
And that was right out to the warning track. I think that carried a little bit more than Brody Black thought it would. And as per usual, the thing you have to know about Arnold Anderson Stadium is that it's mostly surrounded by trees. And so the wind that's blowing in the first 30 or 35 feet from the ground up isn't real noticeable. But when a ball gets above that tree line, about 35, 40 feet, about 10 to 12 meters, then it starts to affect the travel of the baseball. And Black almost overran that ball. He had to turn around and come back the other way. But he got himself right and made the catch, and it was a nice play.
Well, we are getting ready for, as the graphic says, the bottom twist. We are ready to get going here. It's going to be Corrosis, Watt, and Holmgren. The Red Sox going to get through the bottom of the order here in the just the second inning. They'll go through it all the way. That's a very hot start for the Red Sox offense at the beginning. And again, pitch count's always a focus, right? It's when we talk about that at bat earlier between Holick and Benitez, that's what you want to do if you're Brantford, because with Benitez's variety, we talked about his mix, we talked about his veteran ability, and the best pitchers, they always seem to know. They know it's a marathon, right? You're pacing yourself. You know you got to pitch. That's why he's pounding the zone. He wants to get through this game quick. That might be the decider. That's the best thing your offense can do for you today in a ball game that might be low scoring. They have been, generally speaking, between these two teams this year. If Connor Irvin's offense can get more pitches off Benitez than Barrie can put up in these at-bats off Irvin, that's going to be certainly to his advantage. Between two pitchers that we saw pregame in the stats are certainly pretty even. That might be the difference, is how late in the at-bats can your offense take it.
Well, your point's well made. I have seen Benitez get upwards of 110, 115 pitches. So he's a horse, and he's going to be able to go deep. But you're right. Get on him early on and get deep into counts, and you're going to really force them to make decisions earlier than they wanted. Obviously, Josh Matlow, his team is in the playoffs, but they're still trying to get wins to avoid this play-in game, and especially if you're fifth and you're Barrie, being one of the more distant towns in the league. It's not a short drive when you're going to go either to Hamilton or to Guelph. That's a couple-hour drive there, not having one at home, not even having a guarantee of getting a home date in the playoffs. And we know that they draw very well up there when they do make the playoffs, as they always do.
Benitez's first pitch. Called a ball there to open it up against the former Kitchener Panther, A.J. Corrosis. And Benitez, just to finish off that thought, 11 starts this season. He's gone 5 innings in 8 of them. He's gone 6 innings in 5. He hasn't gone past 6. As that one set straight at the first baseman. Nicely gloved off the ground by Macabrota. Throw to the pitcher. First out there. Bottom of the second.
Nice pitch there. It started off, that's that cutter. It started off in the middle of the plate and just busted in on the last few feet. Gets off the sweet spot and gets into the hands of Corrosis, and it's a lazy ground ball down to first base. Easy flip over to the pitcher who was covering, and our favorite term is the PFP, right? The pitcher's fielding position. Those are easy outs. All you got to do is execute.
That one misses wide there to Cassidy Watt, today's catcher. Hitting in the 8th spot. We talked about early in the season, his batting average had crawled up to in the 320 range. It's dropped a little bit through the month of August. but he's still done well in terms of discipline. He doesn't get the call on that one. Strike goes the way of Benitez, but he's done a good job still walking. He's got 3 walks in the month, but does have 6 of his last 9 games he's gone without a hit. Swings and misses, just misses that one with the barrel. But, I mean, the start of the season for Cass, unbelievable. Moving into his role a little bit. He talked preseason. Remember that infamous conversation preseason? Oh, he's going to switch to more of a power swing, right? Going to act the priority in terms of contact. And then he's hitting up at 320. Doesn't have too many homers. So he's moved his role around a lot this season. Has had to make way on defense for Andrew Savage. But he's been a really effective part of this team. As that one sent up shallow into center field. Ranging back is Ejo, who should make the catch. Does make the catch. A quick second out, but the thing for Cass is even though he's gone through a bit of a drop in the month of August, his leadership behind the scenes, keeping this going. We always talk about the continuity on defense, but Cassidy Watt, the continuity of him as a leader, he is truly the thermometer of this clubhouse. He's a guy that really, he tries to set the tone, and he remembers, Brian, a lot of the players on this team don't. He remembers that August run last year. You got to think he has given the team the same notes. He's reminded them what it took last year as they go in another hot streak this season.
The thing I like about Cassidy, he's not really a jump up and down and drag everybody up by the pants kind of guy. He's just a positive guy who's always got some positive thoughts to share with the group, and the group really respects that. And so those are always, it's always nice to see guys like that. They're young men, but they are grown men, and they're leaders. And that is always nice to see when you see a guy who's got the kind of personality that others gravitate to.
1-1 becomes 2-1. A ball taken there by Walker Holmgren. And to that thought, this is a guy that Cassidy Watt has spoken quite reverently about all season. Obviously, his defense for Walker Holmgren is without question, but there's certain guys in this offense it sounds like Cassidy Watt has always had belief in, and it's great. He's got to be happier than anybody on this team to see all these guys. He's had such great things to say about it, such optimism about their offensive production coming due in the month of August.
Absolutely. It's just been so nice to watch this team finally come together.
That one struck off well high into left field. Going to go out of play there to make it a full count.
You know, obviously we had wished that they had sort of figured it out a month earlier than they did, but at the end of the day, you finish strong, you do what you can, and, you know, gives you momentum moving forward.
That one struck in play. Once again into the glove of Macabrota. Nice spinning grab, and it's another 3-1 to cap off the bottom of the second inning. A good start for Benitez on the mound, but a brief glimmer of hope for the Brantford base invaders in that first inning means the home squad has the advantage as we head into the third. 1-0 base invaders as we get set for the third inning. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick step away for 90 seconds. When we return, we'll be ready for more Sunday Night Baseball. And welcome back to Brantford Base Invaders Baseball on a Sunday evening here in the CBL. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Marshall Crocker alongside Brian Hawley. As the first pitch of the third inning goes too far inside for ball one, it is Irvin taking on Brendan Daly, today's second baseman, as we kick off the third. That one put just barely foul past third base. Want to say hello to some of our fans watching there from that London game that we're hearing has now been suspended there. Welland leading London 9-2 in a big game for the top 2 seeds. Welcome Welland, welcome London fans. Gets a piece of it. That one tipped back by Daly to make it 1-2.
Yeah, I think you could sure expect that Welland was hoping to get through the bottom of the 5th to make that an official game. Having a 9-2 lead, they were hitting the cover off the ball off the piano.
That one struck well there by Daly. Out into left. Martinez ranging back. Great first step to make the catch. The Barrie dugout sounded pretty confident about that one off the bat, but instead it's a fly out to left.
Yeah, good job tracking the ball off the bat by Martinez there. He's been a solid addition out in left field.
So that's Daly sat down. It'll bring up Carson Barker, the third baseman. Out a little bit too high. Can't drop far enough. Barker takes for ball 1.
That's the spinner there, and he's missed a couple times with that. He was throwing that. He was money on that pitch each of his last 2 starts.
Gets him on the inside in the bottom corner to the man from Alliston, Ontario. Counts now 1 apiece. Barker, a rookie to the league, listed as the backup catcher behind Cyprian. Gets the call wide. Irvin is crossing his I's and dotting his T's on the outside when it comes to pitch placement.
Dot the I on the inside, then dot the I on the outside. Very impressive. Swing
and a miss, past it. Make it punch out number 4 early for Irvin, his second swinging. Which will bring up Kenise Ejo here, and again, we talked about an interesting wrap around here. Barrie fans, if you know why he's sitting in the 9 today, I don't believe. Like, he's been playing every game. I believe he missed 1 at the start of August, but he's been active all the way through the year. Might be a partial rehab, but he hasn't missed any games.
Well, he's out in center field, so, I mean, if he was hurt, you would think maybe DH or
even Gary Doyle out there.
Maybe even move him to a corner outfield so he doesn't have to run as much, but he's, Josh Matlow's been running this team for quite some time. He knows he knows his ball club and knows what's best for his team, and I'm sure he has his reasons for moving him into the 9-hole.
2-time All-Star, 2-time All-CBL, the 30-year-old from Brampton. Here's the 0-1 from Irvin. That one fouled up and over our heads to make it 0-2. I will say it's been a slow month of August for Ejo. He's only had a multi-hit game once. He's had 7 games, in the month of August alone with no hits. Not a lot of walks in that time either. Hasn't had a walk since back on August 11th. This is 8 games ago. Batter's going to call time. But Ejo, I mean, unbelievable out of the gates there at the start of the season. Hit 4 homers in 5 games at one point.
I mean, don't get me wrong. You certainly can't go wrong putting McGarry Doyle at the top of this order.
The former Burlington Herd gets ready to face 1-2. Make it 2-2. Checks up just in time. Watts snags it to even it up.
That's really the first pitch that Connor Irvin's really missed with yanked it glove side there. Might be a good time to bust him back inside with something hard.
Swing and a miss. Another punch out for the reigning CBL pitcher of the week. Make it 5 through 3 innings of work. Connor Irvin, welcome back. This is the form that every Red Sox fan out there is hoping to see from this guy that, again, they want to be the race for a long time. Irvin loves this team, and he gets strikeout number 68 on the season for the CBL leader, Ejo. 68 on the campaign.
Man.
I didn't know that. I looked at that number. I did a double take.
Yeah, that would cause you to double take.
Let's take a look here at the defensive unit for the Barrie Baycats. They'll come out for their 3rd attempt, trying to keep the Brantford Base Invaders lead to just 1-0. There you see the unit. Starting from the outfield, left to right, it's going to be Noah Holt, Kenise Ejo, and Clayton Keys. And we got Carson Barker there at third base. It'll be Hernandez there at short, Daly at second, Macabroda going to play there at first. Cyprian going to be the man behind the plate, as he often is. And Benitez, of course, today's starter, will return for his 3rd inning. Already pretty solid pitch count for Benitez. We always say the golden number somewhere between 12 and 15 is a good ratio to get through each inning in terms of pitch count. Well, Benitez already up over that early. The exact number, 33. He's a tick above, 24 strikes to 9 balls. That's what you come to expect with Benitez.
He threw a lot of pitches in that first inning, obviously, with the long at bat to Holik and facing 3 hits. But again, he's a horse, and he'll be around for at least 5, probably 6 more if he really gets in a groove. But what a start so far for Connor Irvin. 9 up and 9 down, 6 punch-outs.
No hits as of yet.
Just absolutely filling up the zone there.
Looking across town, just a little bit down the road, we got Hamilton leading 6-2 in the late stages there against Toronto. That Maple Leafs team, it seemed close potentially that they were going to play us down the road for the 6th seed at the end of the season. Brantford, of course, really good in the head-to-head through the month of August, and I think with that loss, Toronto going to be essentially out of contention as we head into the final week of the season.
Yeah, Hamilton lit up Toronto for 5 in the top of the bottom of the first inning there. So Jaden Brown and Dario Barrero each hitting home runs. A lot of extra base power going on there. I think Kyle Pope start that game.
Well, let's get
Dimension.
Let's get into the start of the bottom third here. Jacob Cantor going to lead off. First pitch he sees, hits him square on the upper arm. A hit by pitch leads off the third inning, and I heard an apology there from Benitez.
Well, we've seen that all season, haven't we? We know Cantor likes to be very close. Gets right to the inside of the batter's box. His elbow is just off the plate. And we've seen him take a bunch of hits off the arm there for sure.
Indeed we have. It's going to go down as Cantor's. I want to make sure I got the correct number here. Hit by pitches on the season. Black sees the first pitch on the outside corner, nicely dotted by Benitez.
And of course we know that Brantford is up with the league leaders in hit by pitches.
They are indeed as a unit. That was Cantor's 10th on the season. We hope he's all right in the upper arm. Also hope Tammy in the chat's okay. Sorry to hear you weren't doing well today, but nothing better than some CBL baseball to cap off a weekend. 1-1. That one struck. Broken bat over the infield, finds itself a gap in shallow right, and Brody Black is on with his second single in quick succession to open the ball game.
Well, that sounds like that bat died a hero. It's just pretty sure he cracked that bat. Yeah, you can just see a chunk of it. Got it right in on the hands there. Nice pitch by Benitez. Nice piece of hitting by Black to muscle it up and get it over top of the second baseman.
Just taking a look at the leaderboard there. It's going to move Jacob Cantor with that hit by pitch from a moment ago. He's now tied for third in the league in hit by pitches for players with Gio Morello and Welland. Andrew Savage, don't forget, he's second in the league at 12. That one misses wide. Nicely caught by Cyprian, the league leader in that stat. Robert Mullen has 14 hit by pitches this year. One 0, 2 on for Chris Ortega. That one up a little bit too high, make it 2-0.
A lot of hard stuff at the start of this at bat for Ortega. 2-0 now. If you're Ortega, you're sitting dead red. They've thrown hard twice. There it is. Yep.
Benitez goes down the middle. Ortega no swing. Make it 2-1. Starting to feel the wind kind of blowing in from the outfield and pretty much straight down the middle. We'll see how balls carry the rest of the way. Scalding hot bat of Christian Kazemka now on deck with men on, no outs. That one misses wide. Very nice take as Ortega shakes his head. Wasn't going on that one.
Yeah, a bit of a sticky wicket there if he ends up walking Ortega and brings up the hottest player in the league with bases loaded, nobody out.
That one struck well up in the air. Chance to tag up at second as that one should be caught in right, although not a clean run to it. Going to be plenty of time for Brody Black to run his way off there to third. Pardon me, Jacob Cantor, the man who will advance to third base. That was a less than routine catch. As again, we talked about the wind. Keys didn't seem to know where it was going.
Well, it's just as I had said before on the play by Black in the last inning there, when that ball gets above the tree line, it starts to be affected by the wind, and we know the wind is out there blowing. I could sure feel it on my drive up here today. And once it got over the tree line, it affected the ball, but nice adjustment by Clayton Keys to make that catch.
Well, Christian Kazemka recently changed his walk-up song to End of the Beginning, and the end of the beginning of this streak doesn't seem to be ending anytime soon. That one fouled back right at us, but men on the corners, one out. If he hits a 3-run shot, make him this week's player of the week and next week's. Just double him up in advance. One. That one drops in, getting a piece of it up into shallow right. Keys ranges forward, should make the catch, but the tag up at third. Black going to try to score another one. Pardon me, Cantor will come, but the double. It is Cantor coming home to score the second run, and it's Black advancing off there to second. The base invaders grab another and lead it 2-0.
Good aggressive base running there by Jacob Cantor, challenging the arm of Clayton Keys. That ball was up the line, and good base running by Brody Black. When he saw the throw was not going to be cut off and went home up the line, Brody Black took off from first base and advanced, and Cyprian unable to squeeze it on the short hop. Not exactly an easy thing when you're wearing a catcher's glove to catch a ball on a short hop. Not really what it's designed for.
That one struck very far foul. That one's crushed to the junior field by Holick. Doesn't it feel like every time specifically Cantor gets hit by a pitch, he always comes home to score? I don't know what it is about it, but
you're right. It does seem like that, doesn't it? And although truth be told, he usually steals second after he gets hit.
That one struck well out into left center, but doesn't look to have enough under it. Wind blows it right into the glove of the center fielder. Ejo makes the grab, and that'll cap off the inning, but not before the base invaders add another, make it 2-0 Brantford early. It's been a strong start so far for Benitez, but he's just allowed enough of an opening for the Red Sox top of the order to take advantage. That's where all the success has been today so far. The bottom four in the offense, we'll see them next time up for Brantford in the fourth. They're going to look to get on the board.
Yeah, pretty standard stuff for Juan Benitez. Comes in, throws strikes, makes you put the ball in play, but he's running into a scalding hot batting order here in Brantford, and you know, that's a difficult thing to deal with when you got a team that's hitting basically 1 through 9.
Well, the Baycats going to look for their first hit of the day here as we get set for the top of the fourth inning, and plenty of excited fans here today. Obviously, the rescheduled contest, 2 o'clock. It moves a little bit later. The cloud cover's really started to come in there. You can see on your screen. It's getting cool. It's one of the rare games I've seen. This is the first time I've worn a jacket in the broadcast booth this season, so the conditions noticeably different. But again, I love that we've seen far more than I would say in 2025. Brantford fans not only coming out to ball games, but I think the pace of play has helped sticking around. I'm really impressed with how great the crowd's done, how loyal the Red Sox fan base has been. Obviously, we've seen great numbers all season behind the scenes. I've heard really good things about how we're doing for the Red Sox Report on Rogers TV. The engagement this season with all the stuff here in Brantford, it's helped with the performance on the field, but the Red Sox faithful, we can't thank you enough this season. And obviously Barrie, you know, that fan base, very high expectations there for the Baycats, but even as there's been a little bit of struggles, I hear attendance, I hear excitement around the team. And, well, it's the closest you'll get to an off-season for the Baycats being the 5 seed into the last week. I mean, I don't think they've been lower than that in the 2020s, but both fan bases, just a lot of the CBL's top teams, even for the squads below the cut line, they're really coming out and supporting this year.
Well, one thing that we know is that the Barrie Baycats are well supported up there, and come playoff time, if they can get some home dates, they'll get some real nice crowds there.
To get a home date, they got to start winning these late ball games, though. McGarry Doyle looking at strike one to open up the fourth inning. That one struck weakly off to third. Nicely grounded there by Holick. Gets it with the glove. And the nice throw off to Chris Ortega for the first out.
Well, that's a nice play there. Charge the ball, get it on the short hop. gain your composure, throw on the run, drop down a little to the side, and throw a seed across the diamond. Very nice.
I know I sound like a broken record, but we were preaching all year at the start of the season, defensive continuity. How much would it matter to Brantford when the same pieces would play the infield every game? Something about having Chris out there on first and Tim consistently out there on third, that combination is just the most effective and consistent it's ever been.
And keep in mind, that was the opposite at the start of the season.
Right, it was.
Opening night, it was Holik at first and Ortega at third, and Ortega hurt himself on a ball that got hit in behind the mound. He slipped on wet grass there and hurt his back. And ever since he's come back, he's been at first base. He's been a fixture there.
Acabrota, a big swing, big miss to make it 1-1 after taking the first pitch well inside.
I know Chris very well, and I'm sure he won't be insulted when I say that Holik's got a little bit more athleticism, a little more range out there to play third base. Ortega certainly has the arm strong enough to play third. He's got a really strong arm. And, first basemen don't always have a strong arm, but Ortega sure does.
Acabrota looks at 2-1. That one struck. Should get down. On the board is the Barrie Baycats with their first hit of the day. On a 2-1, it's lined off into left field by Nolan Acabrota.
Yeah, caught a little bit too much of the plate there. That's really the first mistake he's made. And Macabrota's the type of hitter that punishes mistakes, and so he just served it up into left field there for an easy single.
What can Hernandez do with it? First hit of the day for Barrie. We'll see if it's contagious.
It's the first time we've seen him from the stretch today.
Well inside, barely misses the batter to make it 1-0. No hole now going to be on deck. Conservative lead, just a step off on first for Acabrota. That one struck up into the fencing, make it 1-1. Jacob the Bat Boy, my goodness, the speed.
Look at those wheels.
We had a comment on Friday, and
Did I just see a comet?
nice. Oh goodness, he's getting noticed, man. We talk about player development a lot here in Brantford. We got Bat Boy development out the wazoo. Reigning All-Star. Now the fastest in the league is that one goes by on the missed bunt, make it 1-2.
We should incorporate it into the All-Star game. Send all the Bat Boys down there and just give them drills and see who wins.
We're going to see Jacob on the roster card one of these games as a pinch runner. 1-2. That one misses wide, make it 2-2. There's a couple dogs here that are here today for adoption here locally in Brantford. A couple with the Adopt Me vests on. Thank goodness the girlfriend's not here, or I'd be going home with a new friend. But here's the 2-2. That one's up, and it catches Hernandez.
Check the swing. Yeah, he went. Unfortunately, that's a drag for Fernandez, but he swung.
He did indeed. That will be called strike 3, and here comes the bench boss off to talk to the umpire.
Yeah, Josh Matlow's going to come out and question it, but like I said, that was the first thing I saw is that he spun around and the bat separated from his body.
Anyways, to finish that thought, I'm still team Bat Dog. For a long time I've thought, man, one of these teams in the Canadian Baseball League is going to be the first to get there. I think we should lead the charge to having a Bat Dog on field. It looks like
I thought that was strike 3. Is it not strike 3?
Well, it would have. There were 2 strikes on the board.
Yes.
So that should, if it's a strike, still a chat. There's no replay review, so it's not like...
Well, what happened was he got hit by the pitch, and the home plate umpire immediately went down and asked for help on the call, and the first base umpire rung him up. And so, obviously, Fernandez is frustrated, but at the end of the day, that's...
So here's the chat. The home plate umpire is bringing this to a stop. He's telling Matlow to come over, and he says he is done with the noise he's hearing from the Baycats. So
that's, it's a call that went against them, but
so here comes Noah Hull. That was the 6th punch out of the ball game there for Connor Irvin. Which will be a very important second out there with Acabrota on first.
That's a rare situation. You don't see that too often where a pitch comes in and it was a tailing fastball, a two-seamer. And Fernandez, who stands close to the plate, as we saw on the previous pitch when he fake bunted.
That one struck. Might get down, will get down into right center. Rolling its way out to right field. The runner going to come around. Macabrota checks up. They're going to get him behind. Not in time. Just barely. On a nice throw there by Black to get it in, but it looks like Macabrota scampered his way back just in time. Nearly ended the inning, but it will go down as a single for Noah Hull.
Macabrota looked like he was going to go for third base, and he looked up and saw the third base coach had the stop sign on. And he's a big dude. It takes a little while to shut that train down. And Brody Black did exactly what he should do and threw in behind him. The throw was a little bit to the outfield side of second base. An accurate throw may have gotten him there, but Macabrota showing some athleticism, getting back in time.
Swing and a miss past the first pitch by Irvin.
That's the first time we've seen anybody swing at the spinner tonight.
Wandy Cyprian struck out looking his last time up. He now looks at 2-1 in front of him.
Might be worthwhile if you're a Brantford hitter to sit on that pitch. He does start the odd batter off with that slow one.
Casts it up way outside. That one is struck. Once again, should get down. Black ranging out to right field. It will get down. Bounces into the fence. One runner around. It's Macabrota. Digging hard is Noah Hull, who will score. A pair on for the Barrie Baycats. This ball game's now tied.
Well, an unfortunate situation there where Brody Black went to the fence and then picked the ball up and then dropped it again. Otherwise, they'd have had a play on the trail runner there. But he dropped the ball when he picked it up, and that ended up costing them another base. We'll have to see how that scored, but that may be an error charged to Black unless they decide that the second runner was going to score anyway.
Hull had good wheels there. Lost the helmet on his way around third. Did a really good job to like that one out. So it will go as a 2 RBI single there for Cyprian.
I think it was going to be a double, but one way or the other, it's just a question of whether they're going to charge Brody an error for that second run.
So here's Clayton Keys. Swings and misses past that one. We're hearing they are going to register an error there for Brody. A rare one. Doesn't often...
Don't see too many of those. Brody's been a fixture out there all season long.
Here's the 0-1. Runner almost went there on second. That one up in the air, but will go out of play. We'll stay 0-2. Comment there in the chat about is Anthony Portuato the best pitcher on Brantford? Well, the man starting today for the Base Invaders, I think, would probably claim that title. The form Connor Irvin's been in, but Anthony Portuato, we talked to him pre-game. You do not get more improved throughout the course of a season than Portuato this year. My goodness, he's been hot.
Well, I watched his first bullpen session in practice the week before season started, and he was really having difficulties with his control. Step off and throw this guy out.
They strand the runner up between second and third. Caught in the rundown is going to be Cyprian. They got to capitalize. They got to execute. The throw, get him in time. This inning's over. The Red Sox trap Cyprian in the rundown, and we'll see Keys back again in the 5th inning.
Yeah, Cyprian thought he had him timed up. We saw him bluff before the last pitch, and smart play by Connor Irvin there to change his cadence up. I've talked about it all season long where you got runners on base and you cannot run the same cadence. And what I mean by that is the length of time when you come set that you hold on to the ball before you actually pitch it. If you do the same thing every time, then they are going to run on you at will. And that was a bit of a problem with a couple of Brantford pitchers early on this season. But Connor Irvin's a veteran and a smart enough guy to know when he sees a guy bluff him the previous pitch, it's time to mix up the cadence. He hung on longer. Cyprian took off, and he got the pick off and got himself out of the inning without having to throw a pitch.
Will you ever see pitchers kind of try to induce that feeling in a base runner where they kind of fake consistency? They see a guy starting to take a big lead, and instead of just going for disengagements to try to get the runner, maybe you intentionally establish a pattern in your cadence and then start to switch it up, and that's when you get the rundown like we saw there.
I don't see it too much in this league because they use the 2 disengagement rule.
Right.
I do see it sometimes at other levels that don't have that rule. It's not an easy thing to do. It's something that you have to be proactive at. You can't just say, oh, they stolen 3 straight bases on me. Maybe I should start mixing it up. That is something that pitching coaches and managers and coaches of young players get on pitchers about from U12. U12 is the first age that you can actually lead off and start stealing bases. And good coaches will be on their young pitchers right from the get-go at U12 to make sure that pitchers are we once upon a time we called it the cab system, CAB, wait 3 counts, wait 1 count, wait 2 counts, and just mix it up every time so that the runner can't time you up. You give your catcher a better chance at throwing out runners, would be base stealers, when you mix up the cadence and don't let them get that big jump.
And when it comes to defensive aggression, a guy that's really going to take any opportunity to get a free out that he can, the man behind the dish for Brantford today, Cassidy Watt, probably the most aggressive on the team. Again, Andrew Savage, he's been great this year on defense. He's blocked really well. I think we all talk about his offensive development necessary to be an all-star for Andrew, but his defensive work this season, he's just so much more buttoned up around the edges than we saw in limited appearances defensively last season.
Absolutely, I agree 100%.
So Francisco Martinez, AJ Carosis, and the man we're talking about, Cassidy Watt, the next three for the Brantford offense. The base invaders now sit tied as Barrie puts 2 on the board in the top of the 4th. Martinez shows bunt, doesn't make contact.
You say he pulled that back? They checked the third base ump. I think they said he pulled it back.
I'd be surprised, but they do indeed. Ball 1. That one misses wide. Nice take by Martinez. He's up 2-0. That one drops in, gets the strike on that one. Benitez picks the corner.
There's an interesting definition of what we mean by pitching backwards. 2-0 has traditionally been a fastball count. Benitez comes in with a little curveball there to get over and get back to 2-1.
Martinez strikes that one up high in the air. Should be playable for the second baseman. Waving him off is Daly. He makes the catch. First out of the inning. Which will bring up AJ Carosis, who grounded out to first base to open it up to start the second inning. AJ's had some clutch hits at home this season as well. He's a guy that I think he and Charlie Towers can get overlooked here a little bit. Kind of that rotation at second base here for Brantford this season because it's the position with the most variety. But AJ's looked really good. Remember, he hit up in the 2 spot at home earlier this season. And blasted his home run there. I believe his only home run of the season at home in that game.
His only one at home. Yeah, he hit one in Toronto Wednesday for his second one.
That one he gets a piece up, sends it off to second again. Daly getting plenty of work. In time to first, second out of the inning. On the ground out by Carosis.
The catcher, number 15, Cassidy.
Which will bring up Cassidy Watt. Flew out to center his first time up in the second inning. We kind of all alluded to it. Field conditions considered, the wind blowing in over the from center field out to the commentary booth. We talked about this game might be low scoring, and they often are with Barrie and Brantford. Feels like every at bat, every hit, that little bit more important as that one's fouled off to third.
Well, especially important when you see who's starting tonight, when you've got 2 pitchers who throw strikes and try to induce soft contact as opposed to going for strikeouts, even though Connor Irvin struck out 6 of the first 9 he saw.
That one struck well out into left center. Can Ejo get under it? No, he cannot. That one lands its way into left center. And Cassidy Watt is on with the 5th hit of the day for the Red Sox.
Yeah, just a little bit off the end of the bat, and that wind just knocked it down. And we're seeing properties now on the baseball that we haven't seen all summer, have we? It's been such a hot summer. Seems like every night we're bringing our fans up here in the booth and trying to stay cool.
Had to break the jacket out. Emergency jacket in my trunk had to come out today as Cass is, he's always going to take a bigger lead than you think. What is it, the oldest adage in baseball commentary, Brian? Fast for a catcher. Cassidy Watt certainly has
the old
wheels.
backhanded compliment, right? It's he runs well for a catcher.
I run well for a commentator. Similarly backhanded.
I run well for an old man, you know. So we're all kind of in the same boat, aren't we?
We all run well for something, don't we, baseball fans?
I run even faster when there's food at the end.
You can max it. You can always max it out. Just depends how you set the scale, you know? 2-0 the count. Watt on first. Holmgren gets a piece of that one off into left center. Ranging back under, it's the left fielder who will make the catch to end the inning. Nice grab there by Noah Hull, today's left fielder.
Well, Benitez certainly settling in now after a bit of a rough start there, giving up 3 hits in the first inning. But, you know, as I mentioned, that's Benitez in a nutshell. He will put the ball in the strike zone and give you an opportunity to get hits. And you have to be patient enough to hit your pitch as opposed to his pitch. He's got 4 pitches that he throws, and he throws them all for strikes.
Well, Brantford takes the 2-0 lead early, but the Base Invaders have that clawed back by the Baycats, make it 2-2 out of the 4th inning. We'll be set for the top of the 5th in just a few moments. Quick 90-second break, and we'll be right back with you on Brantford Red Sox CBL Baseball on YouTube, CBL TV, and Rogers TV. And welcome back, baseball fans, whether you're watching us from Barrie, Brantford, or anywhere in between. To Brantford Red Sox, now Base Invaders baseball here on CBL YouTube, CBL TV, and Rogers TV Game of the Week. First pitch missed swinging as Connor Irvin returns to the mound for his 5th inning against Clayton Keys. The breaking pitch, he gets it on the far side. 0-2 early for Irvin.
He has really been locating that hard slider on the outside part of the plate, on the glove side of the plate from his angle, very nicely tonight. Oh, that was close.
Very close. Great checkup by Keys to make it 1-2.
Threw that fastball he was not ready for. He was frozen on it, just a little bit outside.
Just short of halfway, this ball game is tied on a Sunday night in the CBL. 1-2. That one bounces up, and the Brantford bounce as it skips its way off for 2-2. I've been thinking we gotta rename the Baltimore Chop to the Brantford Bounce, the number we see at Arnold Anderson. I was thinking the other day we gotta set a trend. 2-2. That one struck foul off into the parking area. Plenty of parking spots today, Brian. No excuse to be parked out there at first base today. So hopefully your truck.
No, I'm out in the safe zone, out underneath the trees tonight.
2-2. That one struck in play and on the hands. Holick gets to the slow roller. In time to Ortega, who kind of makes a weird movement there. I think he almost missed it with the glove. Gets back in time for the first out.
Not the most graceful we've seen Ortega, but he got the job done and got the out. Nice, another nice play by Holick at third base. Good mechanics. Circled the ball, picked it up on the short hop, out in front. Couple of shuffle steps and a good strong throw over, just a little bit arm side. Might have tailed on him a little bit, but that's a nice thing about having a 6'3" first baseman. He makes up for some of your throwing errors.
This isn't the high dive. Nobody's tracking style points. Swing and a miss up high past that one. Daly goes down 0-1. Daly flew out to deep left field his last time up. That's Carson Barker on deck behind him. Gets a piece of that one, well hit. Gap between short and third. It will be a single, though. Martinez right behind it, ready to throw back in. It is hit number 4 on the day for Barrie, and all 4 of them have been in the last 6 batters.
Yeah, real good idea. What happens when you go middle against a formidable hitting lineup with this one? They make you pay for it. Doesn't matter. Top of the order, bottom of the order, these guys can all hit.
Well, we're into the pair that struck out swinging last time. Barker and Ejo both sat down on strikes. Barker going to try to make up for it here. Gets a piece of that one. He does put it just into the shortstop range, but Cantor can't make the play on the slide. Would have been a close throw in anyway, but it's out of the glove. Another man on for the Baycats.
Well, it was a great effort by Cantor. Obviously, there was no way he was going to make it out there, but he hustled out and knocked the ball down so that the base runner could not go first to third on the play. So full points for the effort there for Cantor. So you got one out here. You're going to have to remember what you did to get Kenise Ejo out the first time, who is mired in a bit of a slump. And they got 2 pitches in the dirt, breaking pitches, and so this is a good opportunity to start him off with that spinner and then come back with something like the hard breaking ball that he has been throwing very nicely on the outside part of the plate.
Connor Irvin went off to check on Jacob Cantor, and when he got back, Cassidy Watt was waiting for him. They're going to have a consultation here. Umpire going to come and break it up.
I'm sure they're talking about strategy to make sure they take advantage of getting Ejo out here to get 2 out before the top of the order comes back up, because that is, as I mentioned, that is a formidable batting order, and they're really good at the top. So
not the fastest wheels on the team for Barker on first. You could have the chance at the double. 2-1, it's Ejo. First pitch inside on the hands. Doesn't go. 1-0.
Start him off with a changeup. Interesting choice there.
Ejo was grounded into 5 double plays this season. 1-0 is a little bit of movement on second. That one rolls out of the glove. Cass can't get all of it, and not quite a swing there.
Well, Ejo taking that pitch, which is what he did not do in his first at bat.
Really nice discipline here this second time through the lineup by Barrie.
I think you got to go hard in and don't let him extend those arms and see if you can induce a ground ball out of him.
2-0, Cass sets a ball ways outside. That one struck up in the air, foul to make it 2-1.
Oh. There's only one car parked over there, and it just missed that pickup truck by about 10 feet. Brave soul parking over there by your lonesome.
2-1 count. There's his spot, perfectly inside of the hands. Clip the zone to make it 2-2.
Yeah, I think that's the location you want to go at here. Maybe go at that outside slider just because you've shown him the inside fastball. And then if you can't get him out on that pitch, bust him back inside. I think you got to go back out here. Looks like they might go back in, though.
2-2, you might have the back pick. Just barely too far outside. Full count now to Ejo. It's tough. It was very similar location there. I think the batter and the pitcher have each gotten one on this one.
I don't know if they dare do this, but that little spinner probably worked really well here, I would think.
Full count, 1 out, 2 on. Here we go. Gets the swing and a miss past it. Ejo sat down, extends the league lead in Ks. Which puts McGarry Doyle in a tough spot here, 0 for 2, but he's got 2 on in front of him. Big opportunity for the Baycats, as that was the 69th punch out of the season for Ejo.
This feels like an important bat this early in the ball game.
The pitch. That one put in play. Straight at Cantor. Should have the easy play. He'll run through second. And they strand 2 to the Brantford Base Invaders defense. They protect the Galaxy for yet another inning. Well, which puts us at the halfway point of this ball game, and there you see the scoreboard. Halfway point, we are dead even on everything. 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for both sides. But the Base Invaders will go back on offense. They have the extra offensive inning the rest of the way. Let's talk a little bit about Barrie here, Brian, because the Baycats are obviously one of the great organizations here in this league in the last 5 to 10 years. And we were all talking this year with the bottom teams. Of course, here in Brantford, we're a team that's been looking to build since last season. We're a team kind of looking from the below perspective. But from a team up high like Barrie, this new Canadian Baseball League, all the new rules, regulations put in place, it gave optimism to the teams on the bottom. But by that same token, I know a lot of Barrie fans, a lot of London fans, Welland fans were like, what impact will this have on the future of our organization, the new league? The Baycats this year, they find themselves really in the closest playoff hunt they've had in the decade. Of course, they get in there. They clinched just a few nights ago. But where is your kind of big picture, 1,000-foot perspective on the Barrie organization, and what teams like that, top teams in the league, need to do after, I guess, a bit of a shock to the system in a year that a team like Guelph gets in that picture and the CBL seems more competitive than ever?
Well, the one thing that we've noticed is that, as I mentioned earlier, when you think back to the start of the season, the first month or so, Barrie was the best team. I think they came out of the gate like 10-3 or 11-3 or something like that, and we're out in first place. And so I think the big thing for them is the continuity. Josh Matlow has been a manager there for some time. I'm not even sure how long. It's been at least 4, probably 5 years that Josh Matlow's been there. So they have a good system for bringing talent in. The difference being is that they aged out some guys when they were the real power of this league, and they won 2 or 3 championships straight. 4 or 5 guys all retired the same season. And so they reloaded, and they have won a title since then. But, I mean, Garces is now in his late 30s, and Benitez is getting up there
just
as well.
Just hit 30, yep.
And so once the guys get into those early 30s, then, you start wondering how much longer they can do this. Guy who almost never comes to Brantford, Ryan Riho, same thing. He's not having a real good year. He's only hitting about 220, 230, something like that. So, I mean, what they need to do now is kind of reload. They've got guys like Ejo and McGarry Doyle and Hull and Macabroda. And so I feel like they just need somebody who's going to give them a spark, whether it's a young leadoff hitter that's going to really spark them, or whether it's a new starter that they pick up that they can really get behind. And so Barrie has the opportunity. They've got a great location, a great ballpark to play in. They got a great fan base. They've got a great organization. Just continuity is so important for them moving forward.
Oh, that one off the mask of Cyprian off the bat of Cantor. It will be a 1-2 count as Benitez opens up his 5th inning on the mound.
When you look around the field, I mean, you see Cyprian behind the plate. You love moving. You feel confident going into a season with him.
Yep.
McGarry Doyle out there, he's DHing, but he plays a good outfield as well. And there are a lot of guys around. When you just look around the field and you see guys like Daly and Hernandez and Hull and Barker. Macabroda's another one, definitely. And so those are guys that you want. And just I feel like they might be a piece or two short of returning to the power that they were a few years ago.
That's a high bar, though, to have to get back to, and I think retool's the perfect word for it. 2-2 to Cantor. He gets a piece of it. That one sent off to second. Daly going to make another play on it. Gets it to Macabroda in time for the first out. As Cantor leads off for the 3rd inning tonight, it always feels like he's the leadoff man. When he's the leadoff man in a ball game, he's the leadoff man every time he comes up. But he opens this one up with a ground out, which will bring up Brody Black. A pair of singles. He came around to score on one of them. That's been his day so far. Benitez puts that one just high for ball 1.
Brody is another guy who's been in a real good spot lately for Brantford. Offensively, he's just really tearing the cover off the ball these days. I believe it's 11 home runs and 15 stolen bases now.
That one is struck in play. Out towards third. Play by the third baseman. Nice throw in time to get it to Macabroda. That was a heck of a shot by Barker.
Nice pick by Macabroda, too.
Just good execution tonight by Barrie. These are two elite-looking ball clubs here tonight. They've been very well buttoned up, really, in the season series as a whole. And this is a matchup here. If Brantford's offense is in peak form, they're playing a great starter. Great tune-up game today for Barrie for the playoffs, whoever they're going to see.
Well, you could say that about, it's strange sometimes the roles that we take on late season as a ball club. And, obviously when they're not doing playoffs, they're turning themselves into a spoiler role. But you're right. There's for every pitcher that's going to see them this week, Guelph Tuesday, Toronto Wednesday.
That one put just over the shortstop. Another hit today for Brantford. This time it's Ortega who gets on the board. He'll check up on the single. 2 outs already in the inning, but the base invaders creep the door open a little bit again. Which brings up, well, we got a Christian and Christian doubleheader now. We've always had the Lucas and Lucas show. It's Christian Kazemka. He's now hitting 371 on the season, Brian. He was back at 250 most of the year. I don't want to, commentators jinx it. He's still got 5 games to play. What if he hits 400? He's creeping his way up, man. This is ridiculous.
Like I said, the last month or so, he's been absolutely ripping it up. It seems like every time he swings the bat. It was interesting Friday night. It was the first time we've seen in some time where he had a couple of ugly swings in that first at bat. 3 pitches all off the plate outside, and he swung at all 3 and went good morning, good afternoon, good night. Fast forward 2 at bats later, he's hitting a 15-foot high line drive over the fence in right field for a 2-run home run and turning the game around from a 2-1 deficit that was ultimately a 5-2 for Brantford after a 4-run 6th inning. And when you get a guy that's this hot, you just feel like every time you swing the bat, you barrel it up.
It's one thing to time up a pitcher. He's timed up the whole league. That one put in play, out to short. Chance. They don't need the double, pardon me. That one easily off to second, so he does ground out to cap off the 5th inning. But, yeah, Koo's just unbelievable. He had a shot. It wasn't a homer, but he had a hit. I think it was last Sunday. He had a foul ball, just missed the pole and left. It is the longest hit I've ever seen at Arnold.
It was back to the outbuilding there.
It would have been like 440. It was ridiculous. And that's the pop that we didn't really even know was in the back. Because remember, he won his first 26 career games in this league without a homer. And now the form he's in, it's come out of nowhere. I feel like you don't see that a lot at this level.
I don't recall seeing this much of a turnaround in the middle of a season. I've seen guys, obviously, the amount of time I've been around, you've obviously seen a lot of guys go on streaks and get hot and whatever. But, like, he's just unconscious. And, tonight I think is the first time that anybody's gotten him out twice in the same game for about 4 games now.
That's a great point. We are
and
ready.
Even the one out, sorry to interrupt, even the one out was a sacrifice fly and an RBI.
That's true. Productive outs, even by accident, they become the default for Christian Kazemka. He's been getting a lot of love on social media and well-deserved. Getting ready for the 6th inning. We thank all of you for watching, whether you're here in Brantford, and of course, if you're out watching in Barrie. We love having you Baycats fans here in the chat as always. We love every fan base around the league, but you're all a little bit different. We love engaging with you here in the chat. We love that you guys tune into the ball games. This is the last time we're going to see you, Barrie fans, this season. This will cap off the season series, second half of the home and home here today. Barrie and Brantford was a pretty good show this season. I like that the matchups that Brantford's had against every team in the league this year, they all look a certain sort of way. If we play Kitchener, you're getting 40 runs. If we play Barrie, you're getting good, hard-nosed defensive baseball. This has been a fun series this season, and I think that the head-to-head, if they tie it up, how much do you, as a former bench boss, Brian, do you care about that season head-to-head? Would Brantford care much more about a tied 3-3 versus losing at 4-2?
Well, as a manager, I want to win every game, and I don't mean to oversimplify the answer, but at the end of the day, I do care about my matchups and how I face up with everybody. In 23, we had a real focus on which pitchers were facing which teams and how many times, because we didn't want the same team seeing a pitcher 3 times. That would affect how we set our starting rotation for the week.
That one struck foul off over the first base fencing. 0-2 the count here to Macabrota, who opens up at the top of the 6th.
But as you break a season down, you definitely look at how you match up with every team in the league. And, in 23, we were 4-2 against the Jackfish. We were the only team to have a winning record against the Jackfish. And I remember Essery saying to us, the manager, Brian Essery, the manager of the Jackfish, saying, I don't want to say we're scared of you, but we don't really want to run into you in the playoffs until we absolutely positively have to. And as luck would have it, they didn't run into us in the playoffs because we ran into this Barrie team that just seems to elevate their game a lot into playoff time. And that's one thing you can expect to see again this year.
No swing, called a ball there. Macabrota stays alive at 1-2. That was Irvin's 73rd pitch of the outing, as he's through 5 so far. Well inside on the hands, just misses the batter to make it 2-2. Macabrota just a tick under 300 on the season with the big pop in his bat. If he hits up above 300 for a whole campaign, that's a productive season. 2-2. That one drops in, struck straight at the second baseman. Carosis on the hop. We'll get it to Ortega for the first out.
Nice play there. Good mechanics shown by Carosis, and he is a Hoover out there. I've known him since his junior days back in Kitchener, and his glove is really how he makes his hay. He can hit. He hasn't hit a whole lot this year, but I mean, he's been to the Frontier League, and that glove of his, he's a wizard out there in the middle infield. He can play all three of the other. He doesn't play a lot of first, but he can play all three of the other infield positions.
First pitch, a called strike on the heater low. Hernandez 0 for 2 today. Was punched out swinging 2 innings ago. That one rolls through the dirt into the glove of Cassidy Watt for 1-1. Gonna knock on wood, but looking live. Irvin's ERA below 6 for the first time since the start of the season. That one is struck over the head of the second baseman, rolling its way off to the fence. Nice job by Black to get behind it. Holds the runner for just a single, but Hernandez is on the board.
Well, that's the first hit of the night for Francisco Hernandez, who had that odd situation last time up where he tried to turn away from a pitch that was inside, ended up swinging at it, got hit by the pitch, and struck out at the same time, which is one of your more rare situations in this game, that's for sure.
I've only seen it once, and it was tonight. About a step lead off there for Hernandez on first. He's got good wheels. Opens it up to 2. He will go. Watt with the throw to second. Got him in time. Not in time. They say no. The umpire on second. I gotta think something with the tag because the throw was in.
Throw. It was an absolutely perfect throw.
Watt absolutely guns him, but they're going to call Hernandez safe. We don't know. Could have been something with the tag.
He's 120 feet closer than I am.
Exactly.
He sees it better than I do, but that was a perfect throw. It dropped right in the basket there, and he just missed the tag.
Cassidy Watt lives for those plays, and he executed perfectly on that. You got to feel for him.
Well, it was a good jump and a good pitch to go on because it was the spinner, the off-seat pitch. So it would have taken a perfect throw to get him. I was shocked it was even that close. I didn't think he had a prayer to get that.
He had him by 3 steps on the throw. It's the glove. Great point. He's got a much better view than we do. And that's not just former umpire sympathy by Brian Hall.
Well, that's why we don't chirp umpires, because if I wanted to chirp the umpire, I'd have to be standing in the same spot he was.
So 1-1. Hernandez now on second. Drops in, gets the swing and a miss on the breaking pitch. 1-2. We thank you to David in the chat there for watching. I can't believe it. I was saying earlier, my goodness, feels like just day one. We did a preseason tour of the Red Sox next level training facility, and man, how have 4 months gone by in the CBL?
It's funny you mentioned that because their last outdoor practice before the season started was a night just like this, where there was a lot of rain that fell, and it was a cold and cloudy night, and we were bundled up in hoodies and long pants, and just happy to be on the field talking baseball with baseball players and the managers and what have you. And seems like a month later that we're in this situation now where we're rolling into the last week of the season.
Taking a more direct role with the team this season as kind of director of broadcast media, doing some more preseason stuff, getting stuff ready for the broadcast. Like knowing how long the behind the scenes for both Brantford and Barrie, the front office individuals, the whole team, the game day team, this season in terms of to put a CBL campaign together starts much before May. And for a lot of people around the organization, I know it's an even longer season, it feels, coming to an end. Luckily for the Baycats, you guys get to play some September baseball as well.
Yeah, we've been doing this a couple of years together now, partner, and having a whole bunch of fun doing this. And but I really want to call a playoff game.
I'm gonna get on the phones to Guelph. We'll see if we can get you in there at the Royals game. They might even host a full series. That one's up a little bit high. They check the swing. No swing, says the third base umpire. Make it a 2-2 count.
Shameless self-promotion. If you're out there and in control of such things, I'm available in September.
I won't be mysterious. Mark Perret, if you're watching. I know there's no other games on. Get Brian on the call here in Guelph. 2-2. Ooh, just a little bit high. Drops out, doesn't drop far enough. Full count now. Remember, it's Noah Hull at the plate. He's got Hernandez on second after the swipe.
Really good grinding at bat here for Hull.
Irvin the pitch.
Up.
Gets him for a call, strike 3. Make that punch out number 7 on the night.
I saw the same thing, Hull did. I thought that pitch was up, but it was a curveball, and those are the toughest ones to call. I can tell you from my experience that the high curveball is the toughest pitch to call consistently. Hull thought it was up. I thought it might be up, but like I said before, I feel like the home plate umpire has a liberal zone, but he's been calling it well both ways.
That one struck very far foul. The first pitch, Wandy Cyprian sees. He's responsible for the first 2 runs and the only 2 runs of the ball game for the Barrie Baycats. Remember, he had that, what I believe they're going to score is either a single or a double. But did have the 2 RBI shot last time he was up. 0-1. Swing and a miss past it. Make it 0-2.
And that's Cyprian being a problem for the Brantford pitching staff again. It seems like every time they play, Cyprian's knocking the ball all over the park.
They got to get Connor Irvin a dictionary. The only letter he knows is K. Can he add another one? Yes, he can. Number 8 on the night swinging as Cyprian sits down on strikes for a second time. That'll cap off the 6th inning. The Red Sox offense goes back on the advantage. 4 more opportunities to try to get out of this scored situation once again. The box score looks identical for both sides.
All right, fans, it's time to get on your feet.
What a season. What a night of baseball. Really glad this game gets rescheduled. Glad we can finish it off and the final matchup between these 2 squads this season. Again, we thank you for watching Brantford Red Sox baseball. We want to take a moment to thank our sponsor partners, all of our sponsors, all of our teammates who help make this season possible. And we're down to the final stretch of the season, not only for supporting Brantford Red Sox broadcasts, but also the weekly show, Red Sox Report, which you can check out on Rogers TV or right here on YouTube. Let's start it off. Mr. Lubin Tires, the presenting partner, your place for all things car maintenance, car support, anything you need. Mr. Lubin Tires in Brantford or anywhere you need your car serviced. Also want to thank Montana's Barbecue and Bar. I'm still on the hook, and we have a ball game Tuesday, so I get off one more Taco Tuesday. I will be taking the missus very soon, though. Montana's Barbecue and Bar, we always love talking about them. Again, Brantford or anywhere in between, lots of great deals. Of course, great set of ribs you can grab on rib night. They're your place for anything social, gathering, social event, big or small. Check out Montana's Barbecue and Bar. Popeye Supplements, your place for all things supplement and healthcare provider in terms of health supplements, powders, shakers, juices, anything in between. They've been my place for supplements for going on about 5 years, and they should be yours as well. Popeye Supplements, we thank them, official supplement provider of the Brantford Red Sox. Finally, it is the Terry Summerhays team on behalf of RE/MAX Realtors. We always talk about location, Brian. Well, the place to go for that in the city of Brantford is Terry Summerhays team on behalf of RE/MAX. We thank them for everything they do, being such a crucial part of the broadcast. Also want to mention as well, we won't need to put them up, but Game Ready Training, of course, your place here in Brantford for all things professional development as a ball player. Whether you're a junior, whether you're a long-time aspiring collegiate level player, Game Ready Training, Tim Holick, the entire team, they do such a great job to develop players. Tim himself is coming up to the plate as we speak. The Brantford Red Sox summer camps, we've been plugging them all season. They're done. They're over. The Brantford Red Sox summer camp season has come to an end, but I heard lots of fun stories. A lot of the players here for Brantford kind of got brought in. They were trainers. They were helping take care of the kids there, and I know there was a lot of fun there. So can't wait to have those back. I'm sure they'll be back for next season. And also want to thank Aventry Medical, our official road partner and the official trainer of all Red Sox road games. First pitch is a breaking ball low. Benitez is going to look to go 6 innings for his 6th time this season. He faces Tim Holick. Holick gets a big piece of that one, but shoots it off foul into the picnic tables off on third base line.
Proves what they say when you come to the game. Keep your eye on the baseball. That one went down there like a shot.
Oh, 2. Swings past it. They get the tag. Would you believe, Brian, just the first K of the day for Juan Benitez?
That is a bit of a surprise. That 0-2, it's a good 0-2 pitch. Tim went fishing there.
So it's Francisco Martinez 0 for 2, I should say, here today. A ground out and a pop up to the second baseman. His day so far, which will put Corrosis on deck. That one misses well wide. Nicely grabbed by Cyprian. Only 1 hit and 1 appearance on base today for the bottom 4 in the lineup through 2 trips for Brantford. They're going to try to be more productive to wrap it around to the top this 3rd time through. Martinez going to take a second. You see the sun down all the way here. 20 minutes till 9 o'clock here in Brantford. Gets a piece of that one, popped up well high over the infield. Underneath it's the shortstop. Hernandez makes the grab. A quick second out in the bottom of the 6th.
Second baseman number 5, AJ.
So not a lot of punch-outs, but not a lot of contact either here, Brian. It was just the 1 inning of weakness to open up the ball game, but once Benitez got in form, he's been pretty steadfast, limiting runs since then.
Well, and that's as advertised there. Benitez, he doesn't strike a lot of guys out. If you saw by stats, I think it's something like 59 innings, only 30-something strikeouts. And, you know, he pitches to contact, and that's how he's able to go deep into games, and he can frustrate the heck out of you. And I told you the story when we were up there. It was actually the first time I was officially a manager in this league, because our manager, Bill Matish, was sick with food poisoning. And so we went up to Barrie without Bill, and it was my first official game in charge. And like I said, we had 13 base runners in 7 innings and lost the game 3-1.
Wow.
And that was Benitez, and he gets himself into trouble, and then he gets himself out.
That one down Main Street. Benitez gets on the board to make it 2-1. And what's interesting to me is Benitez's best season of run prevention, his best ERA, was also his highest walk per 9. He had 4 per 9 at that point. This season, a little bit lower in the numbers, ERA a tick above 6, and he's got it down to 1.5 per 9.
Well, he's just really good at making a good pitch to get out of an inning. And that is an art form. It doesn't matter what your stuff is. It doesn't matter what you do up to that point. If you can make that one good pitch to get a ground ball, get a double play, get a fly ball, strike a guy out, to get out of an inning when you got traffic around you, that's the sign of a good starting pitcher.
3-1 count. That one up in the air over our heads to make it a full count against Corrosis. Clutch pitching doesn't just happen in the 9th inning. Happens at the end of every at-bat, especially with 2 strikes on the board. That execution is something Benitez hasn't quite had today, but he hasn't really needed it. Again, that first punch-out was Holick at the start of this inning. He's looking for his second here on 3-2.
Clutch pitching starts as early as the 1st inning whenever you start getting traffic on.
Drops in, fouled back.
That's a good swing there. AJ was right on that pitch.
Freeze! Everybody clap your hands.
So 3-2, 2 outs. Biggest pitch in baseball as this ball game looks to remain tied. Benitez and Irvin have both been great on the mound. One more pitch, and they could both be through 6. He's set, he deals. Swings and misses past it. No punch-outs through 5, but he's got 2 in the 6th. This ball game remains tied as the Base Invaders look to conquer the Galaxy in their 2nd appearance of the season for the alternate jersey here in Brantford. But the Baycats holding them steady as they continue their charge to try to grab a top spot in the league and to try to avoid the CBL play-in. We will be right back after a quick 90-second break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on Brantford Red Sox CBL Baseball, YouTube, CBL TV, and Rogers TV. apologize for the delay. Welcome back to Brantford Red Sox baseball right here on Brantford Red Sox CBL YouTube, CBL TV, and Rogers TV Game of the Week. Opening up the 7th inning. It's still number 20 on the mound. 2-0 becomes 2-1. Swing and a miss past it. As the Baycats go for their 7th attempt here on offense, it's Clayton Keys, the man at the dish. One. Swing and a miss again. Keys goes down to make it 2-2. Keys, Daly, Carson Barker going to be the 3 this inning for Barrie. This ball game remains tied at 2 apiece. Marshall Crocker alongside Brian Hawley. It is our pleasure to join you for another rare Sunday night of action. Doesn't get the call on the far side. Thought it was punch out number 9. Instead, we're into a full count once again.
Yeah, a rare Sunday night game. I don't think we've had one of these.
Also going to get a rare Tuesday game in 2 nights' time.
Remember the last one.
It gets him in on the hands for strikeout number 9. What an outing for Connor Irvin. He's one short of double digits right now, and the way he's pitching, he's not slowing down, Brian. Daly's got to be ready.
Second baseman number 47, Brendan Daly.
Yeah, you remember the last Tuesday night game we had, right? It was the London game.
Oh, no.
About 4 hours and 40 minutes worth.
That one got unruly, let's say that. That one misses high to make it 1-0 against Brendan Daly. 1 for 2, a single and a flyout today. So Irvin's high, season high this season. Strikeouts, he's had 7 3 times. He's well over that now. Brings it back in on a creeping slider. 1-1. Irvin's set. He will deal. Inside, Daly just ducks out of the way. Man, had a chance to just stand in and take that one. Instead, it's 2-1. Can't do the math myself, but if you take out the 10 earned runs allowed ball game Irvin had at Jack Couch Park earlier this season, I think his live ERA might be closer to 4.5. Well, he is starting to work it down. It's down to 5.85 live. Started the ball game just above 6.5.
Yeah, these shorter seasons for starting pitchers, you have that one bad outing, and it can haunt you for the whole season, numbers-wise.
3-1. Swings and misses past it, making another full count.
Boy, he's got a little extra zip on that.
We mentioned 9 Ks. No walks yet tonight for Irvin. Will this be the first for Daly? Full count pitch. That one up in the air, maybe playable out and right. Black ranging forward, gets on his horse. No dice, off into the parking area. So the full count remains alive. It's either strikeout number 10 or walk number 1. Or a ball put in play as Daly looks to follow up his single from earlier. That one's up high. First free pass of the day. It's Daly who will get on for his second time.
I got to say, I kind of lay some of the blame for that walk on you, dude.
Yeah, I can't help but feel responsible for that one. As soon as it came out of my mouth, I went to say, oh, he's got 1 or 2. I realized he had none, and then here's where we are.
He didn't have any walks until you brought up the fact that he didn't have any walks.
Here's another fun fact for you fans watching out there. Speaking of, I'm 1 for 6 this season, or Brantford's 1 for 6 in ball games I call on play-by-play. Brian, are you still undefeated in games you call on?
6-0, baby.
6-0. So another thing I probably shouldn't publicize as I plan my employment for next year. If you fans want some parody in the CBL, just get me a job on Wellens broadcast. that's what you want.
At the cooler. They call him Marshall the Cooler.
That one struck just barely out of the glove range of Carosis there on second. The Baycats gonna dig for third. Is the lead runner. Close on the tag, not in time, says the man on third base. Daly gets all the way around to third on a single from Barker, his second.
And just another bobble there by Black, who is it really seems like he's having difficulty. I'm not sure what he. The ball was a good hop, and I'm not sure if it bobbled in his glove or whether he bobbled when it was in the transition or what have you. I don't know exactly what happened there, but he double pumped that throw, and it allowed the base runner Daly to get to third base.
So Greg Rapp trots out. This will be the first visit for Irvin tonight. He's gone 6 1/3 so far. There's men on the corners. We called me the cooler. The cooler tonight and kind of lately through the month of August for the Barrie offense has been Kenise Ejo, but he's in a really big spot here. Men on the corners. We talk about the real chess match this ball game has turned into, and the ones that Brantford and Barrie have had this season at this ballpark have all been low scoring. You gotta feel not many runs are as valuable as this next one could be, whoever scores it. As opposed to when we play in Kitchener. Oh, what, 14-run lead? They can make it up in an inning. You know, it's a different, that's the Canadian Baseball League. It's a different contest every night against every team.
Absolutely, and it also I spoke to this on Friday. The diamond itself bears itself out a lot, and you can see the difference. They flashed up the stats for home runs in ballparks around the league, and Couch and the Pitts and Fergie were all well above the other 6.
First pitch misses low, taken by Ejo. So it's Daly on third. It's Barker on first. Ejo at the plate, McGarry Doyle on deck.
So Irvin's trying to get a ground ball here and get a double play. They're in at the corners.
Yeah, up a little bit too high, says the home plate umpire. Make it 2-0 Ejo.
But it's a real challenge to double Ejo off because he does run well.
He's grounded into 5 doubles this year. Big sample size, though. He's come to the plate quite a bit. 2-0. That one in the dirt. Make it 3-0. It's going to be even harder to try to induce the double if Ejo gets on and he's on first, because then Ejo and McGarry Doyle on the base paths. In that hypothetical. Very small lead. Bit of a shuffle for Barker. That one's inside. 4-pitch walk. Loads the bases for the Baycats, and they bring up McGarry Doyle, who uncharacteristically is 0 for 3 tonight.
Well, and also uncharacteristic is to see Connor Irvin missing with that many pitches. At the end of the day, you had a Kenise Ejo up there who was mired in a slump and has struck out twice tonight, hasn't put the ball in play, and walk him on 5 pitches. And now you're bringing up probably the most dangerous guy in this lineup in a situation the infield have to come into the grass now and try and cut that run down at the plate.
Can feel the tension in the ballpark. As McGarry Doyle gets a piece of it and puts it right down. You talk about pitcher, kind of evolution, how things change throughout the ball game. No strikeouts for Benitez until the 6th inning. No walks for Irvin until this inning. Just pitchers, they get in a rhythm, they get uncomfortable. But once you just change a little thing up, sometimes a little tweak can start getting you whiffs, or a little tweak can start having you miss the zone.
Well, and that's a great point. And if I could add to that, the fact that if you watch what has happened in this inning, a great at bat, first of all, by Daly to foul off a couple of pitches, stay alive, and so he could walk. Because he walked, A.J. Carosis is up the middle more at double play depth. And if there's nobody on, that ground ball it was a 7 bouncer that went through the infield. Carosis makes that play easy if there's nobody on first base. He just jogs over, picks that up, and throws it over to first for the out. So one causes the next, and you just see that cumulative effect over the course of a half inning, and that is baseball.
1-1 becomes 1-2 as that one's fouled just past third base. Remember, bases juice to the Baycats. Sit tied with Brantford here, top of the 7th inning. Big spot here for Irvin as he looks for punch-out number 10.
It's a very difficult situation here. McGarry Doyle will just love to do you a favor. And now the middle infield has gone back with 2 strikes, hoping to turn a double play here. But McGarry Doyle runs just at least as well as Ejo. So this is a tough situation for Brantford to be in right here. Obviously, Irvin wants to strike out, I would bust him in with a cutter personally to see if I can get him to saw off one, roll over on one, but we'll see what Cassidy Watch decides here.
1-2 is put in play. Chance at the double. They miss at second base. The run comes home for Barrie, and the bases remain juiced. Corrosis to Cantor off the mark, and the Baycats take the lead.
Well, that was unfortunate there, and I appreciate AJ Corrosis is trying to make a play happen there, but you have to realize who's at plate. You have to know something that I often yell to my players, the infielders in a situation like that, know your runners. And that is a leadoff hitter and a very good running Noel McGarry Doyle. And when you're running that far to your left, you have no chance to get a double play. You'd have been just as well just to throw it to first, take the second out.
Breaking ball drops in, but misses wide for 1-0. The question there in the chat from Tammy, what's the pitch count? Connor Irvin, that was his 112th pitch.
We'll see who's...
Right down Main Street, set straight at Ortega. They'll get the runner at home, they take the lead, and they get the other. No! Out of the glove of Chris Ortega. He was ready to walk it off and end the inning. They take the lead runner, but the bases remain juiced on the misplay by 21.
Wow, that was unexpected. You could throw 150 baseballs to Christian Ortega. He'll catch all 150 of them, but that one, he just clanked it. And that's a real shame. The Brantford bullpen is busy. I didn't get a chance to see. It might be Serrata throwing down there.
I'll get you an ID when we have one. There's an arm there for Barrie as well. Well inside, misses inside, ball one. So this will be Irvin's 115th pitch. The base is still loaded. A true workhorse start. Right down Main Street. That one should be playable for Holmgren. An absolute moonshot. But the base invaders bring it down, and they get out of the inning with only one, but that's all the Baycats need to take the lead. Barrie grabs the advantage on the road, 3-2 as we head through the seventh inning stretch. The Red Sox have the base invaders 3 opportunities the rest of the way on offense and regulation. But one of the storylines we got to mention as Barrie leads now is it's kind of a standout there when you look at the CBL standings board there, Brian. The extra innings record for these two squads, talk about a tale of two sides. Barrie's 5-2 if this game goes to extras. Brantford just 1-5 in extra innings. You flip those ball games, this ball game is for the last playoff spot. That is an important thing. What does that come down to? Maybe what have you seen for Brantford this season that's got away from them in those 1-5 record games?
Execution and situational awareness. And it's funny you bring that up because that's a bit of a sore spot. And I'll use Welland as a prime example where they went to extra innings just a week and a half ago up in Welland, and they go to the 10th, and of course we have the ghost runner in this league. They put the runner out to second base, and the decision was made by Brantford's brass to bunt. So you got the runner out on second, and what happened on that play was the batter went to bunt, didn't get the bat out early, and tried to almost looked like he was trying to bunt for a hit when all they were asking was a sacrifice. He whiffs on it, and because he had the bat out, the runner took 1 or 2 quick steps toward third. Catcher stands up, Cyprian stands up, throws behind the runner at second base, and they pick him off. And therefore you go from runner on third and 1 out because they get the bunt down to the combination of the error of missing the pitch. It was just a fastball in the strike zone, and he missed it. And the runner getting too far off the base and getting picked off, so suddenly you've got 1 out and nobody on. And they didn't score a run, and guess what? Welland scores. Welland doesn't need a ghost runner to score a run in any given inning, but when you give them that run out at second, they ended up with the bases loaded, a ground ball through the right side, bang, the game's over. And those situations and others have caused this team to lose games that they should have won. And that is the reason that they're not in a playoff spot, in my humble opinion. The primary reason is that they were in games that they could have won but didn't execute and lost those games.
Watt shows bunt, gets a piece of it, but sends it back foul.
Yeah, now there's an example of a guy trying to bunt for a base hit. He puts it out there at the last second, which is exactly what you think you should do. But when you're up there with a ghost runner on second base in extra innings, you get that bat out and, get the bat in front of the ball.
Well, and is there a team in the league for whom a ghost runner is more valuable than the Welland Jackfish with the speed they've got? That one struck very well, but will go foul into left.
It's borderline superfluous when it comes to Welland.
It's basically a free win. No surprise that the CBL's second seed is 4-2 in extras this year. I actually thought it was higher. Of course, the one night we don't have a camera set up here in the booth to show our lovely faces, cute dog comes in the booth. Saying earlier, we got to get a dog up here. Again, there's all sorts of dogs looking to be adopted here today. Cute puppies all over the place. There's like a cute puppy here in Brantford almost weekly for some sort of event here at Arnold Anderson.
Yeah, those adopt me signs there. So I came into the ballpark. Somebody tried to hang one on me. Not sure that's what they're going for there.
1-2. Swing and a miss past it, Benitez. My goodness, as he started to heat up with the punch-outs. That's now 3 in his last 4 batters.
Center fielder number 3, Walker Holmgren.
We'll bring up Walker Holmgren. 0 for 2 here today, but he's going to look to try to wrap it around back to Cantor. At the top of the lineup, live probability swings the way of Barrie according to the CBL app. 62% is the chance for the Baycats. Red Sox fans probably feeling that's too high. Baycats fans probably feeling that's too low. Allen misses wide. Holmgren, he walks up to the notorious B.I.G. He needs a B.I.G. hit here. This is a very big spot for the base invaders who need to get that offensive momentum back from earlier. Doesn't go around. They check the swing. Yes, he does as the third base umpire. Make it 1-1. Talked about pitch count earlier. This is the 87th pitch by Benitez. That one misses wide to make it 2-1. And we talked about that battle earlier, didn't we, Brian? About the offense is doing the pitchers an advantage for how deep they can get in counts. Early, it felt like it was Benitez that was in those high counts. Remember, Holick got 10 pitches off him. Since then, Irvin's been the workhorse. Benitez has got through in pretty good tempo. Swings and a miss past that one. Make it 2-2. And again, it's funny because the way Irvin pitches so quickly, it really doesn't feel like he's pitched that long, has he? But he's just, when you operate in such quick succession, I can't think of any long Barrie at-bats tonight, but just 4 here, 5 here. It
Yep, absolutely.
Makes all the difference.
He's pitched really well tonight, and
misses wide. We got a full count here for Walker Holmgren.
great take there by Holmgren. I would anticipate a breaking ball on this 3-2 pitch. Number 9 hitter, got to make sure you throw a strike here.
Gets a called strike 3. Holmgren sat down on a breaking
3-2
pitch
slider,
that checks him
yep.
up. Yeah, you said it. Well, isn't baseball a weird game? We talked about pitcher development, pitcher evolution. No Ks through 5 innings, 4 in the last 5 batters for Benitez. He's heating up at the right time.
Well, you made reference to it earlier. The bottom 4 hitters in the order are 1 for 12 tonight. And that's a real change from what's been going on here the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, next man up truly has been the success strategy for the Red Sox. That one drops low. JC goes up 2-0. He's got on once today, but it was a hit by pitch. He did later come around to score as a result. I want to say hi to the whole Cantor family. I'm sure, despite the late start, I'm sure they're watching out there from down in Pennsylvania. That one inside on the hands, gets a piece of it to send it foul. So Cantor here. 2 outs. Brody Black has been hot today. Of course, the pair of hits. The Base Invaders fans would love to see Cantor on for Black here. Inside on the hands again. Once again struck foul. Make it 2-2. Still movement there in the bullpen.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
think
be
that's
surprised.
Serrata.
Serrata likely going to come in here for Irvin. Again, the man from Victoria, BC, has thrown over 115 pitches.
I was just going to say, I can't imagine Irvin coming back out for the 8th.
All 0-2's on the scoreboard. Benitez trying to camp it off. JC trying to keep it alive. That one struck. Just past the glove of the shortstop. Hernandez can't range out for it. And what did I say? Cantor on for Black as he's going to strive. He thought about two, nearly trips over. He does get back to his feet in time. Cantor on with a single.
Outfielder number 4, Brody Black.
Speaking of singles, here comes Brody Black with a pair on the day.
And with 2 outs, keep an eye on Cantor. It wouldn't surprise me at all to see him run on one of the first 2 or 3 pitches of this at bat.
Ortega on deck if Black can keep this alive. First pitch, big swing, big miss on a high or a low heater, I should say, by Benitez.
Right here, I think. If I'm Cantor, I'm taking off right here.
Benitez, the righty, is back to Cantor. They try the pick. Back in plenty of time. And again, you can never undersell the value of dangerous hitter at the plate with Big Pop and Black. Cantor just keeping the mind of Benitez, focused a little bit on something else.
Big leadoff.
May help lend a mistake pitch. Cantor doesn't go. Black does it a piece. That one will be playable, though, for the center fielder. Ejo under it. Ejo catches it. And that is the end of the 7th inning as the Baycats hold their lead from the top of the inning through the bottom. It is now 3-2 Baycats with 2 innings left to play. We will take a 90-second break here on Brantford Red Sox Baseball. No matter where you're watching us, CBL YouTube, CBL TV, Brantford Red Sox Game of the Week on Rogers TV. We thank you for joining us. Don't go anywhere. We'll take you the rest of the way when we come back. And welcome back, baseball fans. The Barrie Baycats now lead it 3-2 into the 8th inning against the Brantford Base Invaders. There's a new captain of the Enterprise taking us into the 8th inning on the mound for the formerly Red Sox. It is Elian Serrata, the former Kitchener Panther. What do we know about him, Brian? What should we look at here?
Well, here's the thing, is that stuff. He has stuff. He throws electric, high, well, not quite high, but low to middle 90s velo. Has an exploding slider, but has a propensity to lose the strike zone, and that's about as positively as I can say that. So you're almost in a Jekyll and Hyde situation. If Dr. Jekyll shows up, this is going to be a quick inning. If Mr. Hyde shows up, then we'll see where that goes. But the one thing I've found about Serrata is that I don't see any batter digging in here because they do not feel comfortable facing this guy.
First pitch in the dirt, just barely misses the feet of Noah Hull, who will lead it off. It's Hull, Cyprian, and Keys. Good news for Serrata. The next two up, Hull and Cyprian, they do both have a hit on the day, but they both also have a pair of strikeouts. Drops in, nice breaking ball there to make it 1-1.
That's the key for Serrata, is can he throw strikes?
Brody Black playing very deep out there and right against the pull lefty. Swing and a miss past it, make it 1-2.
So there you get a handle on the velo that we're talking here. Like I said, it's low to mid 90s, 92, 93. And the slider he's got that he throws two different speeds as well.
That one down Main Street, and it is hit. Off into left field, rolls its way out to Martinez. Noah Hall on for his second time today with his second single of the ballgame. Which will bring up Wandy Cyprian. He was responsible for the first 2 runs of the game. Baycats fans hope he's responsible for 2 more here. Cyprian keys Daly, the next 3 up to face Serrata. Another breaking ball, too far inside, says the home plate ump. 1-0, conservative lead for Hall. He's barely a half step off. Now he extends a little bit. Swing and a miss. The hammer gets him. My goodness, a whiff there from Cyprian. It goes 1-1. Oh, it might have hit a roof down the street had he got a piece of it.
Yeah, Cyprian noticed that he doesn't get cheated early on in the count, does he?
1-1. That one is struck very well. Goodbye, baseball. It's a moonshot on Base Invaders night, but for the side, the home fans were hoping. A 2-run blast by Wandy Cyprian, his 4th RBI of the night.
And once again, the greatest Red Sox killer of them all, Wandy Cyprian, who just seems to hammer the ball all night long every time he comes to Brantford.
The all-star catcher rookie, looking every bit of it every time he comes to Arnold Anderson. That will extend the lead to 3 for Barrie.
I'm concerned about the chemtrail that was coming off of that one. You'd think something that goes that far would have a stewardess on it.
Oh man, my goodness, we need to do Base Invaders night more often here. The only bag deeper than Anthony Porcelato's pitch mix is Brian Hawley's space references. I tell you, holy cow, what a guy. 1-0 here facing Clayton Keys. Oh, square on the number. Keys will go on for his first time today on an HBP, the first one administered by Brantford.
Second baseman number 47, Brandon Daly.
In case any of our viewers thought that was some kind of retribution, it should be noted that was a slider, not a fastball. So, a quick look over to the bullpen. See if anybody else is getting up here.
Try to keep an eye. I believe that's Noah Law warming up. So runner on first. That one is spiked but grabbed. Nice catch by Watt. Make it 1-0. We've seen Law warm up in the late innings quite a lot, but he hasn't got too many appearances here in Brantford in the late stages of the season. Runner goes. Watt has another chance. Got him that time. The spin tag. Nicely applied there by Carosis. The throw was close. They give him that one. I thought the first one was dead to rights, caught stealing. I thought that one was successful. Well, they're flipped, but say what you will. I think we're all even now.
Umpire hearing it from the Barrie bench there.
And the Barrie Baycats fans. They got a traveling contingent off in the grandstand below us. I mean, unbelievable to get the spin tag there. It was a great play by Carosis, who just takes the momentum of the ball, goes through into the tag. It would have been very close. So Serrata gets his first out. Swing and a miss past that one to make it 2-1 here against Daly. Daly 1 for 2 here today. Also a walk in addition to a single. He's looked good here today. Also plenty of nice little plays on defense at second. Does he go around? Doesn't matter. Called strike 2. Big pitch here on 2-2. First punch out for Serrata as he gets a whiff from Daly.
Man, and that at bat there is what you see in the potential of Elian Serrata, why he can frustrate the Brantford Brain Trust in that was a good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon, good night. He threw him the slider and threw him the fastball and then threw him the gas on the outside, and there wasn't anything Daly could do about it. What an impressive at bat that was.
Carson Barker on Base Invaders night. He's hot like the sun. Singled in his last two plate appearances, I should say. Did strike out swinging back in the third. Drops it in. A big whiff there by Barker to even it up. Man, that curve can be deadly.
That slider is deadly. Like I said, it's all about the stuff with Elian. If he can locate it where he needs to locate it on a regular basis, he would be, a real asset coming out of the bullpen for this team.
It's like that, I call it curveball. It looks like that Arias dropping slider, that strikeout pitch he uses to change the tempo from the usual swing and a miss. We talk about Arias when he pitches. He's got the two kind of renditions of that slider. One he uses against the righties to get the swing and a miss when it goes wide. But the one that can just drop like an elevator, he's got one of those, it looks.
Yes, and they throws him at two different speeds.
So that one is in on the hands. Does catch the bat to go foul, which makes it a full count. 2 outs. Really big pitch here for Serrata as Carson Barker tries to get on for his third time today. Even if he's out here, Barrie will have a good look theoretically in the top 9. It would be Ejo, McGarry, Doyle, Macabroda. But Barker going to try to keep it going right here. He will keep it going. Well high, ball 4. Free pass to Carson Barker. He's on for his third time today. So Law continuing to warm up, but no movement by pitching coach Greg Rapp as of yet. Two outs. First pitch once again. Spiked off the dirt. Nicely caught by Watt. He's had a couple of potential candidates, but no baseballs have got by Watt yet today.
Interesting matchup here. Kenesi Ejo can really hit the fastball with the best of them, and this is one of the best fastballs you'll see.
There's the breaker again. 1-1. Once again, very conservatively there by Barker. Serrata not paying him too much attention. 1-1. Becomes 2-1. Misses high. The longest wait of the night here for the Brantford offense. They got to stay hot through this one. They got 2 more opportunities to close that 3-run lead. Serrata hoping to keep it at 3. That one comes back. The slider getting a piece of it is Ejo. First hit of the ball game for number 7. It's another on for Barrie. With that, every spot in the lineup has now had a man on for Barrie today.
I think that's enough for Serrata.
Here comes Greg Rapp. Noah Law will exit the bullpen. That is the relief appearance over for Elian Serrata. Which still puts Law in a less than enviable spot. Just the one out to record, but he's got to do it off Noel McGarry Doyle with a man on first and second. So Law gets his glove checked. He is good to go. Going to get set to warm up here. We'll switch gears to Noah Law. What can we expect from him, Brian?
Well, the thing about Noah Law is that he doesn't have that stuff that Serrata has, but he throws a lot more strikes, and that's so important. He's sneaky quick. You don't see a whole lot of velo, but because of the off-speed stuff is slower, his fastball seems faster. And the old line is he could sneak a steak past a hungry dog, So We'll see the breaking ball. We'll see the changeup. He's got a really nice changeup that has some depth to it that keeps batters out on their front foot and induces soft contact. And again, that makes the fastball look even faster when you're sitting on that slower stuff.
Well, the top three for Barrie, they started off pretty slow, but they've gotten in form here as of late. McGarry Doyle and Macabrota got on there last time through. They also each have a hit each. Hernandez also has a stolen base. McGarry Doyle has only been on one time today. Again, we mentioned earlier that result over there in Hamilton. Hamilton picking up the win there over Toronto, 8-4 the final. So that's a big win for the Cardinals as they continue to try to hold their place above that cut line with Guelph to not have to play in the play-in. Again, as of now, coming into today's ball games, Hamilton at Bernie Arbor will be the matchup for Barrie in the first round. A win today would be very big for them. As I'm sure Barrie fans, even if you got to play in the play-in game, I'm sure you guys are hoping you do it at Athletic Culture. Because a Barrie win would once again, it'd be the exact same position as prior to today. They'd both be Hamilton and Barrie tied at 26 wins, but Hamilton has 2 games in hand. One thing I'll give Barrie credit for, kind of flies under the radar, best road team in the Canadian Baseball League in 2026, the Barrie Baycats, 14-7. The only team in the same stratosphere is the London Majors at 14-8. Struggles more have been on the road. Barrie is 11-12 in their own ballpark. We are now set to go. Noah Law inherits 2 men on base. First pitch is high and wide to McGarry Doyle. Here's the 1-0. Just creeps its way outside to become 2-0. Really nice take there by McGarry Doyle.
Yeah, and if Brantford's going to have an opportunity to come back here, they need Noah Law to get an out. As you mentioned, a difficult challenge with such a good hitter up at the plate.
That one is over for strike 1. Nice high heater. We always like to build the bridge for the path ahead. Barrie Baycats fans, you guys will be on the road again in your next contest. That's Tuesday, so you got tomorrow off. That's a resumed game in progress against Chatham-Kent. Bottom of the first, 2 outs in that one. This one, though, a chance to finally get out. No, the error. Korosis. He can't make the clean play on the ball rolling. He tries to go with the bare hand, and there is no play to Chris Ortega. Barrie loads the bases in Noah Law. He inherits 2, and there's another unearned base runner.
Well, that's a shocker because, like I said, A.J. Korosis is a wizard with his glove, and that is very uncharacteristic of him. He made a bobble of similar nature on Friday night. But like I said, I've known him since he was junior age, and he makes his hay on being a good fielder. So I know he's disappointed in his own actions, but at the end of the day, they could hit a rocket out there, and he'll end up picking it and making a nice play. So
the changeup drops in for strike 1. Here's Macabrota. That one is chopped up. Is it fair? It is fair. The play to first. Law does it himself. Gloved off the ground on the pick by Ortega. That was closer than it looked, but regardless how it's done, the Brantford base invaders escape, only giving up 2 more. But that's all Barrie needs to take a 5-2 advantage in this one. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a 90-second break. We will come back, and we'll take you down the finish in this one. We are in for a barn burner. I can feel it here at Arnold Anderson as the Brantford offense gets back ready to go. We'll see you in just a few moments here on Brantford Red Sox Baseball, CBL YouTube, CBL TV, and Rogers TV. Welcome back to Brantford Base Invaders Baseball here live from Arnold Anderson Stadium in Brantford, Ontario. Marshall Crocker and Brian Hawley back here to take you the rest of the way. Well, Baycats fans, if you like strikeouts, you're going to love this next guy. Now on the mound here for the Baycats, the first reliever of the night. Boris Vachurka takes the mound. This season in his rookie campaign for the 23-year-old from Brno, Czechia. Vachurka, 16.09 strikes per 9 innings, almost 2 Ks per inning. 1.72 ERA. He's appeared in 9 games this season, got a decision in 2, and even 1-1 record. 1 save on the season. 28 punch-outs to 6 walks for him.
What a really interesting matchup with the 3-4-5 hitters coming up for Brantford.
That one yanked far side. Nicely caught there by Cyprian, 1-0. You are right indeed. The 3-4-5, Ortega, Kuzemka, Holik. A trio of names you like to see if you're the Red Sox faithful. Batter gets the call on that one. Misses for ball 2.
Interesting delivery. Drops down almost 3/4. Gets a little extra life out of the fastball. And that makes the slider just really jump away from right-handed hitters.
Gets a piece of that one. Sends it up and over our heads.
Throws hard, too.
He does indeed. Good velo. So 2-1 the count. Of course, Chris often known for the long ball, but he's doing pretty well lately, singling his way on. That one struck well, but foul. 2-2.
Well, the 8th inning, they need base runners. Ortega, very much a team guy. He'd be more than happy to take a walk or a single to get on ahead of the hottest hitter in the league.
So Vachurka usually makes quick work. He averages about 12.5 pitches per inning he pitches. He is going to step off and take time here. 43 strikeouts looking, 29 swinging is the ratio for Vachurka.
That's a lot of swing and miss, man.
He's thrown 101 strikes to 82 balls this season. Out up a little bit high. That feels like a high ratio of balls for a guy who's such a punch.
I was just going to say the same thing. It's normally in the major league standards, 2 strikes to 1 ball, 2-to-1 ratio.
I don't think I've ever seen that. He turns almost the same number of walks and strikes into 3 walks per 9 and 16 Ks per 9. That one is struck pretty well into right. Does that one have a chance at going? Very close, but the catch is made by Clayton Keys. Ortega takes off the helmet in frustration. He thought he had pay dirt.
So did I, actually. The ball not carrying, that's a big difference between what we've seen most of the summer being a cool evening.
They always say the night games, right? That's where you get the good
Well,
power.
and the night, a cool night, the ball will not carry as well. You just don't get the same compression.
Well, he got good contact. He just didn't quite have enough on it.
Any golfer will tell you, you get better compression out of a hot day.
Here's Kuzemka. This is for ball 1. Kuzemka gets a piece of that one to send it foul into the fencing. 1-1. So no arm at all. No bullpen catcher even for Brantford. I think they want Law in the 9th inning. We'll see if the door gets opened here on offense. I would think they'll probably get a top arm warmed up there in case they find themselves in a closing situation.
Well, Craig just threw last night, Porcelato as well, so you'd have to think that the only high leverage arm they have is Jorge de la Cruz.
Who is active tonight. 2-1 is Kuzemka with a nice take inside. Kuz 1 for 3 today. Vachurka with 2-1. Swing and a miss past it. Goes upstairs. Kuzemka can't quite find a piece of it. What are you seeing here with Vachurka?
Well, good velo. Like I say, that 3/4, he could throw the 2-seamer that busts in on you, but it looks like he throws a bit of a cutter too, which is really tough to do off the 3/4. Normally a cutter is thrown over the top.
That one is struck pretty well. May not have enough, though. Ranging out toward it is the left fielder. Hall gets a piece of it. It almost looked like Kazemka would add another one, but he flies out to deep left.
Tell
Bring
you
up
what,
Tim
on
Holick.
another night, he did have one there. That's the same thing as the Ortega hit. That'll give you some indication as to how the Brantford hitters are swinging the bat. This guy comes in with 16 strikeouts per 9 innings, and they're hammering him all over the park. But because of the cool night, they can't get it out.
I got to give it to Tammy in the chat. You've been here, I think, for all of our ball games against Barrie this season. I've never seen Tammy want to walk a batter. That's the fear Christian Kazemka is instilling in the league right now. But unfortunately, he can't quite find the real estate past the fencing. So Tim Holick comes up in a tough spot. 2 outs. 0-1 the count against Vachurka. Down Main Street. Nice pitch for 0-2.
There's that two-seamer. It's almost a sinker. Gets a little bit of sinking action to it, and that's what you get out of that. When you throw from three-quarter on a two-seamer, we don't have the camera working on it. I could show everybody on the camera, but you just let the ball kind of roll off the bottom of your finger.
That one struck into play. Out into left center field on a hard liner. Holick may dig for 2. He's going to check up and just take the single.
Well, big mistake there. You got a guy 0-2, and then you hang a slider middle. And you can't do that with a guy like Tim Holick.
Well, we give all the credit for the hot hitting form to Christian Kazemka, but Francisco Martinez has had a very good month of August since coming back from kind of a development break in the middle of the season. Took some time away at Game Ready. Was not in action there for a little while. He has bounced back really well. There's 2 names to me that jump out for player development on this ball club for this new era of Brantford Red Sox development at Game Ready. It's Anthony Porchelato, and it's this guy, Francisco Martinez. Inside, too far inside. Nicely taken for ball 1.
Well, you could even take it a couple steps further. Look at Lucas Lefebvre, who had that horrible start to the season and just went in and worked and started hitting and got his average up over 200.
Misses again, make it 2-0. Lisa there in the chat mentioning, of course, Christian Kazemka, a former Barrie Baycat as well. You guys got any old Christian
Back
Kazemka
in,
stories?
23, I think.
23, yeah. I believe he has a Red Sox tenure that isn't on the CBL database. Step off there from Vachurka. Yeah, if any of you veteran Baycats fans have any stories, have any impressions from his debut season. Bit of a slide from Holick on first. Make that ball 3. Another nice take by Martinez. Vachurka starting to look a little bit frustrated. So he's got a real James Bond composure to him right now. He's shaken, but he's not stirred. 2 outs, 3 balls. He finally gets a call, does Vachurka. That one down the middle for strike 1. Can't blame Martinez there. You're probably just sitting on whatever you saw. Now he's going to get back in the at-bat. He's fixing the elbow guard.
Well, at 3-1, you're probably going to get that sinker, and I wouldn't want anything that starts thigh or below because it's just going to sink and you'll pound it into the dirt. You're looking for something up that you can hit the other way.
Gets a piece of it. That one over our heads, foul. Make it a full count. The highest leverage pitch of the ball game coming up. 3-2, 2 outs.
Yeah, if Martinez can get on, then Carosas comes up as the tying run.
Full count. Here we go. Runner goes, hit and run through the gap. Nice execution as Holick digs for 3rd. Won't have a chance at home. The throwback in time by Keys, but the Red Sox are still in it. The base invaders keep the fight for the Galaxy alive as it's Martinez with his first hit of the day. And here comes A.J. Carosas. Carosas looking at men on the corners.
This would be a real nice shot of redemption if AJ could get a hit here.
That one misses high. Grosses opens it up 1-0.
I know it's been a frustrating season for AJ. He hasn't played as well as he'd liked. He hasn't played as often as he'd liked. You know, there's an age-old argument. I can't get into a rhythm unless I play, but I can't play if I don't get into a rhythm.
Swing and a miss past that one. Make it one each.
He's just flying out on the front side a little bit, and he just needs to stay in the swing a little bit longer and focus on hitting the ball up the middle, and that will help him to barrel up a pitch here.
Live fastball there from Vachurka. Can Corosas catch up to it? Misses well wide. Nicely grabbed by Cyprian. Looked like Vachurka knew right out of the hand that one was missing the zone. 2-1.
At the very least, if AJ could get a base hit here and score one run, and just keep moving the order down, right? You got Cassidy Watt, the 8-hitter, on deck, and get the top of the order back up, get the meat back up in the 9th inning.
You just want to see Cantor Black, Ortega, Kazemka again.
Nice take there. No, I don't think he went.
They agree. 3-1. Vachurka looks, again, a little bit rattled. I think he's been a little bit frustrated by a couple of these side calls. He doesn't quite have – he looked like his command was going to be –
Well, you did say at the start, 101 strikes and 82 balls. He throws a lot of pitches, gets deep into counts. And so AJ has got to have a pie plate size strike zone here. Otherwise, make him go to 3-2.
And there's the free pass. Talk about a productive out in a big spot from Corosas. He's on for the first time today, and what a time to do it to load the bases for Cassidy Watt.
The catcher, number 15, Cassidy.
What is it, Brian, about August and Cassidy Watt coming up in big spots? It feels like every time they need a clutch hit, a clutch play, and often for a guy to leg out a run to first, Cassidy Watt's always the guy.
Well, and he's the kind of a guy that you want, and I think the reason we remember those is because he routinely comes through on those, on those occasions. And you probably wouldn't remember anything about that if he struck out every time he had a good opportunity.
So a consultation now on the mound as they try to get Vachurka back in the rhythm he had in the first two batters he faced. Holmgren warming up on deck. Then it'll be Cantor. We will see if we see a pinch hitter. Ian Antone still inactive. Otherwise, he's a guy you'd love to have in this ballgame.
Well, and that's, Cassidy here, but you look at the 9 spot, and you wonder if Andrew Savage is available, that if that position gets up, then you have the opportunity to bring Andrew Savage in to hit for Holmgren.
Well, the bases are juiced. Cassidy Watt going to be the man to try to squeeze them out.
Trying to hit a solar flare here.
That one misses inside. Nice take. He opens it up 1-0. Cass in a big spot. Vachurka going to step off. Doesn't want to let his nerves get the best of him. He needs to stay focused if he wants to get out of this one. Yanks that one far side. Another nice grab by Cyprian. One of the benefits, Brian, of throwing a pitch as hard as he does, even if that had hit the back fence, it probably bounces back fast enough that you don't get the runner to come home. If you're going to miss fast. 2-0. Another take by Watt.
That is a good take there, and that's what happens when you get behind. If you start a guy off with strikes, he will swing at that pitch. If that's 0-2, he's got to swing at that pitch. But because it's 2-0, Cassidy Watt can lay off that, and you can bet 100% he's taking here.
Inside ball 4. The base invaders walk home a run. And Vachurka is off his game now. A strong start to the inning has turned into 4 consecutive Brantford base runners.
They're going to let Holmgren hit here. I must admit, I'm a bit surprised. I would have thought they would have Savage come in and pinch hit, which leaves them a little short in the outfield. But at the end of the day, you've got Kazemka DHing. You can certainly bring him in and have him play in the outfield. Brody Black can play center field, and of course Kuzemka plays anywhere, right? So
Holmgren's signature hit this season at home in that 6-2 win to break the streak against Welland. He's got a big hit off one finalist from last year. He'd like another. That's another ball. That misses wide for Vachurka. The Brantford crowd is getting loud here in the late hours. That win streak at 5. 6 would be the longest going back nearly a decade and a half. 1-0. Misses again. The slider doesn't slide anywhere, and it makes it 2-0. We've seen 2 outs on the scoreboard for the last 4 batters. Two outs.
gotta take here. Gotta be taken.
They give him that one on the far side to make it 2-1. Vachurka finally gets a call for himself. JC now warming up. Cantor will be the man to try to keep the run going. If Holmgren gets a hanger, you got to think he's thinking yard. Inside. That was a huge grab by Cyprian. That one nearly missed the glove.
You're right. He almost threw that one to the backstop, and that would have been a real problem because that brings a run in, obviously, and takes away the force outs. So if I'm Holmgren, he's been struggling lately. I feel like you have to take here.
3-1 to Holmgren. They're going to give him the strike. Full count. Now 2 outs. Holmgren going to call for time.
Yeah, I'm shocked that that Barrie got a call there because he's been all over the place in this inning. So now the upside is at 3-2, the base runners will be going with the pitch. So a ground ball, if there's a little ground ball over in between the hole on the left side there, they got to throw across the diamond.
Full count, 2 outs. Misses high and wide. Ball 4. The base invaders got the lead down to 1 off a trio of walks for Boris Vachurka.
And even more importantly, top of the order get up. What a great at bat by Walker Holmgren. A guy who's been struggling, but just kind of grinds it out and gets himself on base.
There was a point in this season, Holmgren had 34 strikeouts to just 1 walk. He's really turned that around in the month of August. That's his 6th free pass in his last 6 games. Here is JC, Jacob Cantor.
And if he's going to miss inside, he's going to hit Cantor. Oh, and you can see him. You can see Cantor even turn into that one.
Big. You know when you see baseball players duck out of the way of a pitch? You will not see that right now.
No, he just turned, and I'm not saying he leaned into it, but he just turned like you do when a pitch comes in close to you like that. And just like that, it's 0-2. I tell you what, though, I mean, there's still some serious heat coming in there. I mean, it's going to be a lot for Cantor to handle here. I just can't see him throwing a slider. Remember, he made that 0-2 mistake to Holik on the slider. He's got to throw fastball here.
0-2, 2 outs, big pitch. Gets a piece of it, right at the second baseman. He can't make the play. The throw to first. He's in time. The throw misses. Another runner around. The base invaders take the lead late. What a comeback in the bottom 8. Brantford now leads a missed throw by Brendan Daly, who's been steadfast on defense. He's made 1 mistake all night, and it just gave Brantford the lead.
Well, talk about compounding an error. He had to go hard to his left and didn't get a chance to square his feet, and the ball squirmed away from him. And then made it worse by making an errant throw over to first base. I mean, sometimes you just got to eat it. And I know, these guys are competitors and they all want to make it happen. But, I mean, you look at this inning. You have a walk. You have an 0-2 pitch that hangs. You got the first 2 guys out. You got an 0-2 pitch that hangs, and Holik hits it for a hit. And then you just walk, and then a ground ball to the second baseman. And that turns into 2 more runs. So, I mean, clearly those 2 runs are unearned. And so, wow, what a turn of events that is. And now making it worse, you've got a new pitcher coming in, and Brody Black coming up to bat, and another hit, and you've got some distance in between you and Barrie at 7-5 as well. Interestingly, bringing in a left-handed hitter when I believe the next 1, 2, 3 guys are all righties. 1, 2, 3, 4 guys are all righties coming up, and they're bringing in a lefty. So even, let's look ahead of the game as is my wont on occasion, that you get out of this, maybe Barrie does tie it up. You got a lefty facing the first 3 guys up that are all righties and all guys that can hit, guys like Ortega, Kuzemka, and Holik. Tell you what, I don't think anybody saw this coming. 2 out and nobody on.
I mean, I said it before this inning. If Brantford takes the lead, you have to think if he's active, De La Cruz starts warming up. There is no movement in the bullpen for
No,
Brantford.
there isn't.
This is going to be a huge leverage spot if Noah Law is the man to close it out in the top 9. I did some data surfing, and if anybody in the chat can give me a help out, any of those Brantford fans, if you look up, if you try to find when the last 6-game winning streak overall was for the Brantford Red Sox, there is no recorded data of 6 in a row for Brantford since before the championship dynasty, between 2008 and 2013. That team may have done it. Since then, it has not happened. The Red Sox, the base invaders, probably thought they were out of it. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is that De La Cruz now walking out. He keeps his jacket on until he gets to the bullpen. I can't identify who's walking, but
He's too short. Jorge is like 6'3".
I mean, you got to think if he can go, we'll see him.
It's a save situation, and he's their closer, right? So,
well, we are back after that massive play again. Brendan Daly, perfect on defense through 7 innings. It's the 8th, a pair of errors in the same play. Put 2 on for Brantford, 1 on each corner, and the base invaders lead at 6-5. First pitch.
Ooh, got a call there. Braden Pakula coming in his 7.56 ERA. Does not have the velo that the last guy did, but he does throw a lot of strikes.
That one misses, evens it up. And the most valuable asset for him versus Vachurka a moment ago is he's just composed, right? He comes in, I know there's stress from the situation, but he's composed, he's even-headed, and he needs to stay that way to record the out against Black. That one is put in play. Black puts it to the third baseman. Another muff on the ground. There is no play. The Barrie defense falling apart at the seams. The base invaders are now a 7-5 up off an error by the third baseman.
Well, someone has beamed their gloves up to space because they're just unable to catch the ball. All of a sudden in this 9th inning, and that's 1, 2, 3 at least unearned runs scored by the base invaders this inning. And the problem just gets bigger now because Ortega has been absolutely smashing left-handed pitching all season long.
We think in the chat there, confirmation Jorge is currently injured. I believe we saw his number on the roster, but sometimes it can be fast and loose with who can actually suit up. So we thank you for confirming for it, which means with nobody in the bullpen, Noah Law is going to have the biggest
Noah
ball
Law's
game
the
of his
guy,
season.
so every run will count, and that's not a slight on Noah. That's this is a formidable hitting ball club, Barrie, and more runs are necessary to hang on to this lead.
So that is in for a strike.
That's an odd swing. That's not something we see at a Christian Ortega. A 1-0 pitch, swinging at a pitch like that. Generally speaking, when you're in that kind of a situation, your strike zone isn't much bigger than a pie plate. You're looking for one pitch in one spot, and clearly he was fooled by that one because that didn't look like a 1-0 swing by a 2-time All-Star.
The 1-1. Gets a piece of it.
That is what an All-Star swing looks like right there. He went right at that one, fouled it straight back, and hopefully Cyprian's okay. He's a tough dude back there. This season he has made a really, really good impression on me. Barrie Baycats fans, you are lucky to have this young man behind the plate for you all season long.
Young indeed. He's got plenty of development he can do as well if he sticks with the Baycats organization long term. 1-2, 2 outs. 7 straight Red Sox have got on a 2-out count. The 1-2. Misses well wide. That one's loose, and it gets away from Cyprian. Runners advance on the wild pitch. thinking about coming around there was Cantor.
Yeah, it's just Cantor's always looking for that extra base, isn't he?
Well, he's going to try a front flip over the catcher. I don't know what the plan would have been there,
I'm
but
not
if
sure
anybody
either.
can do it.
It's long gone are the days where you can knock the ball loose, that's for sure.
The great Ren Takioka always has me questioning, even if I think I know, oh, he's going to check up at third. You never know, do you?
Yep.
Shout out to Ren. Congratulations to him as well on a great season in the CBL last year and a great retirement as well. Earlier this season after playing in Mexico. Men now on second and third.
Nice
Drops
take
low.
there. Great take.
Ortega shaking his head. Not on that one, he says. Make it a full count for me. So again, to recap this inning, we've gone through the order for Brantford. It was a flyout for Ortega and Kazemka to open it up, then single, walk, error. And Brantford now leads. What a take.
Oh, and like jigging. It's pretty rare when you see a guy bat flip on a walk, but that was a hard-earned walk by Christian Ortega. Really well done. And now you've got all kinds of fun where you got Christian Kuzemka, the player of the week, elect, if you want to use that term, up with a left-hander on the mound here, and this game could get blown open. One mistake here from Pakula, and this game is going to be.
That one misses again. Remember, Kazemka had that long swing, that nice shot to left that just never seemed to track. Got a little bit of wind under it. It stopped.
Yeah, I think he wants to get on top of something here, hit a rope into the gap, and try and score 3 runs for the speedy Ortega to score from first.
Swing and a miss past it, but he almost found it. 1-1.
He went at that one, didn't he? But interestingly, though, that is twice on a 1-0 count that Brantford Red Sox hitters are jumping all over a 1-0 curveball not in the strike zone.
Well, the Brantford offense in this 8th inning is a lot like when you work with the Terry Summerhays team for real estate. Real estate gets filled quickly. The base paths often empty themselves. When the base invaders are in a big spot, they are in one here. 2-1 now the count on the ball.
I got to say, dude, that is a really nice advertising segue.
I do my best.
He's the best, folks. Marshall Crocker. Hire him for all your birthday parties.
Commentate your kids running in the pool or something. I don't know. I got enough free nights. I won't make fun of it too much. That one is struck. Another hit as it's just out of the glove of Hernandez. 1 comes around. 2 comes around. Sign, seal, deliver it. Christian Kazemka is the best player in the CBL right now.
Well, great effort by Hernandez there to try and get that, and he got about 3/4 of the baseball on the tip of his glove, but just could not squeeze it. What a great effort. I thought he was going to make a circus catch there. It was a little bit off the end of the bat, didn't quite catch it on the sweet spot, but when you're hot, and balls like that land, and you could just see Josh Matlow hasn't moved in about 10 minutes, just standing there going, yeah, this is baseball, and we're just going to have to take this, because I believe now that is 7 runs on 3 hits.
That one muffed off the dirt again. It was 5-2. It felt like Barrie had taken all the control when we came into this bottom half of the inning. That is now 7 runs by Brantford since they went down to 2 outs. Hits him. Upper arm hit by pitch. What did I say? Every time the bases get empty, they get loaded once again. Holick's on for the 2nd time in the inning. Martinez comes up with a hit earlier this inning.
The left fielder, number 22, Francisco Martinez.
Brian, Christian Kazemka has 18 RBIs in his last 4 games.
That's a season for some dudes.
That's ridiculous. That is unbelievable. That one is in for strike 1. Here's my favorite stat. Last Saturday, Christian Kazemka had 9 RBIs on the season. He now has 27. That's taken for ball 1.
What a wild inning this has been. Welcome to the CBL, folks.
This is why you never tune out. Whether you're watching from Barrie or Brantford, Anything's possible in Canadian Baseball League action. Misses wide. No, he doesn't. Martinez. Can't believe the call. It's 1-2.
As the famous Ann Lear Chamberlain once said, no lead is safe.
Still no movement in the bullpen. It will be Noah Law trying to take it the rest of the way with his ball club up for the 1-2 pitch.
Nice pitch there.
Great pitch. The inning over, but not before the base invaders put 7 on the board. 7 runs after going down 2 outs to start the inning. It's not even a surprise, Brian, because we've seen this from Brantford at certain times throughout the season. This is the Canadian Baseball League and the reality of when you get a pitcher that is like what we saw from Benitez, who kind of got a second wind at that late stage of the ballgame. He started to get all these punch-outs. It's so tough because down the stretch, you want to save pitchers. You go, we don't want him up at 100 pitches. We don't want him up at 110. But it's that transition to the bullpen that always feels like in the Canadian Baseball League, that's where offenses can get a second wind. You wonder, did Benitez come out too early? Should he have pitched up towards the pitch count we saw from Connor Irvin?
Well, as I said before, Josh Matlow has been running this club for several years and knows his team, and especially should know Benitez. He's been there at least 4 years. And, made the change. It was 5-2 in the 8th inning. They've got a solid bullpen. He brought in a high-leverage guy, but his high-leverage guy just couldn't throw strikes. So this is baseball. Sometimes as a manager, you make all the decisions that you're supposed to make when you're supposed to make them, and it just don't work out. That's baseball. That's seems to be the catch-all for all things that happen that aren't supposed to happen. That's baseball.
We're going to take a quick 2-second break. Well, it'll say 90 seconds. It won't be 90. We'll come back as soon as we're ready for the first pitch in the 9th inning. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's time. 9th inning here in Brantford. Down Main Street, Noah Law opens it up with strike 1.
And if I am the manager of Noah Law, the only message I have to him is say, listen, they just did us a bunch of favors. Let's not do anything silly and not throw strikes to the leadoff guy. If he gets a hit, tip your cap, move on.
That's a bunt, and it is a bunt gone foul for Francisco Hernandez. Unless we see a pinch hitter, which I doubt we will because Hull is on deck, it should be Hernandez, Hull, Cyprian. Then Keys would be the 4th man for Barrie.
I'm not sure there's anybody in that dugout that's better than the first 3 guys that are coming up to hit for Barrie.
Couldn't agree more. So I don't think we'll see any subs. 0-2, Noah Law. Looks for a big closing spot here. Drops it in. That one in play. The throw from Holick. What a throw!
Very nice.
Oh my goodness, what a laser from the hot corner. First out recorded, Tim Holick. My goodness.
Set his phaser for stun and flew it across the diamond.
Oh, man. We said, we'll take a peek behind the curtain, folks. We said before the game, we're never going to get better puns than the first Base Invaders game. My goodness. Brian Hawley's outdoing himself. The only man more valuable in the CBL right now than Christian Kazemka might be Brian Hawley.
Oh, well, hold on a second. I can't hit anymore. Just remember that.
1 out. Here's Hull. That one up in the air, but won't be playable for the defense. Sent over our heads to make it 0-1. Hull. The lefty is ready. And he takes one apiece on a ball in the dirt.
And if he can get out of this inning, Noah Law is up to get the win here.
Yes, indeed. Oh, that's a great point.
He's a great kid. No, I have a chat with him almost every time when I get to the ballpark early enough. Just a really positive guy. A lot of fun to talk to.
Gets the call wide, make it 1-2. Noah Law looking for his first career win in his 4th season in the Canadian Baseball League. What a huge opportunity. 1-2. Drops it in, not far enough. 1-2.
But don't go anywhere, folks, because like we said, no lead is safe in the CBL, and this is, as I have mentioned a couple of times, a formidable hitting lineup.
Noah Law was born New Year's Eve 2004. The man from Hamilton, Ontario, just 21 years of age. Getting a piece of that one is Hall. Nice job to keep it alive.
Yeah, it's hard to believe he's still junior age. Like, he could still play U22.
And remember, this is his 4th season.
I
Here
know,
in
right?
Brantford.
Reminds me of Blake Jacklin, who's the best leadoff hitter in the league when he was 20.
2-2 the count. Gets him low. Nicely taken by Hull. It is a full count.
No freebies here. Got to throw strikes.
The worst the damage could be would be 1 run. You just get it over the heart of the plate. You make Hull swing. Three, 2 again. Full count pitch. Here it is. Right down Main Street. Up in the air. Should be playable. Martinez ranging forward. A glove is up. Ball is in. That is the 2nd out. And the Base Invaders are now 1 out away from the ultimate galactic mission of a 6th consecutive win.
To boldly go where no Brantford team has gone before.
Since 2008. It's been a while. Oh, man. Is that Star Trek? What is that one?
Star Trek.
It's before my time. It's even more before Noah Law's time. It's the 21-year-old. Going to wait on the batter. Cyprian going to step out. He knows the... And there's a man gone for Barrie. The Baycats have had somebody tossed. I don't know. He pointed to the dugout. Is it Matlow? Is it a player? Either way, there's a man gone for the Baycats.
Well, it reminds me of the first time I threw Dino Ramel out of the game. I thought to myself, I wonder if, yep, here he comes. So we're liable to see maybe a bit of a show here.
The pressure, you got to think, starting to get to Barrie. That's when the emotions pick up. Cyprian is jawing back and forth with the Brantford bench. The Baycats may not be the Base Invaders, but surely they feel the gravity of the situation.
Well, somebody from the dugout has been knocked into outer space.
And they'll be orbiting around the parking lot until the game's over. And there's another man gone for the Baycats. I hope the AC's on in the bus. It's going to start getting full here in a moment. The whole team is starting to jaw. I think Keys thinks he's been thrown out. He's the man warming up on deck. This is starting to get out of hand.
Well, it does remind me of a time when I was umpiring at a tournament in Sarnia, and the Quebec team was playing, and they were really upset with my partner umpiring, and there was chirping coming from the bench, and he kept throwing guys out, and the chirping kept coming, so he just kept throwing guys out, and he told them, I'm just going to keep throwing guys out till the chirping stops.
So to fill you guys in, there have been 2 bodies ejected from the Barrie dugout. Now the third base coach is coming over to tell the guys to just give it a rest. The tensions have really broken down. Barrie's been frustrated all night with calls, and it's starting to boil over. You know exactly what this is reminding me of, Brian, is that London game we talked about. I don't like. There's nobody in the bullpen. I understand. You're hearing 2 outs. Last time a team had 2 outs on offense, Brantford put up 7 more runs. Law's got to stay dialed in, but he can't stay warmed up because he can't pitch. The discussion's happening on
You're
home
right.
plate.
It does remind you of that situation.
Just when you think the door's shut in the CBL, it always opens up again. I don't like this the longer it goes for Brantford. So 2 are ejected for Barrie. I thought it might have been Keys one of them. He is not. Clayton Keys still on deck. We reset. Cyprian at the plate. 2 outs, top of the 9th. That one put in play. Holick will make the glove on the hot corner. He'll try the throw. What a throw! The Base Invaders have won 6 in a row for the first time since the 2008 start of the dynasty. Thank goodness for the top 5 teams that Brantford's out of the playoffs, because the hottest ball club in baseball may be the Brantford Base Invaders. What a ball game as they take it on a pair of howitzers by Tim Holick in the 9th inning at the hot corner.
Definitely showing his cannon. That's why he's playing third base. The ability to go back. Nice drop step. Good mechanics. Does his drop step because he can't get a short hop. And just plants a foot and fires it across the diamond in time to get the last out of the game.
What can you even say? It was one thing last season to have 6 in a row at home. You win here at Arnold Anderson. The 25 team goes on a great run of form. How about 6 overall for the 2026 rendition of the team? It's not over. There is still 5 more games left to play for Brantford. Brantford may be knocking right on the door of the playoff spot with a Barrie loss today and another Brantford win. Unbelievable ball game. That will be your final. We thank you again for watching. We got to do one more segment. It feels like we've been through 3 ball games, but it's time for my favorite segment. Time for the Popeyes Player of the Game and a win for Brantford. Who we got today, Brian Holly?
We've got the starting pitcher, Connor Irvin, who once again did his job, went deep into the game, pitched 6 innings, 1 earned run, and was fantastic all night. And more importantly, pitches quickly, throws strikes, keeps the defense alive, and just a wonderful thing to watch. And Connor Irvin is in a real nice place right now. And to your point, the CBL is lucky there isn't another 2 weeks of the season left.
Boy, howdy are they. Connor Irvin, congratulations, reigning CBL Pitcher of the Week, and it's another quality start from number 20. I mean, Brian, it only feels like we get fun ball games here in Brantford this season. I'm so glad I had you join alongside me on the call. What a great game to get back to full strength here in the broadcast booth. We can't wait to have our full-time director, Brandon, back in the booth. But today, Ryan Kennedy did an awesome job as always. We thank him as always for making the trip and doing a great job. What a ball game here tonight. The Brantford Red Sox moved to 19-24 on this season as the Base Invaders moved to 2-0 in an undefeated campaign. The Baycats dropped to 25, a 20th loss on the season now for Barrie. And it was a tale of 2 ball games. Benitez will go down, and he'll lose in what was a great start there for him. Again, he goes into the deep stages, doesn't quite get it done. And the first Canadian Baseball League win in the 4th season for 21-year-old Noah Law. We give our congratulations to him.
Yeah, he did a great job. Got the last 5 outs.
Yep.
And came in, threw strikes, made him put the ball in play, and got the job done. Good for Noah. Congratulations to him.
We said it there, Barrie Baycats fans. You guys remain on the road. On Tuesday night, you guys are heading to Chatham. Don't miss that ball game against the Barnstormers as you guys finish off your season. They'll be fresh off a game. Chatham will in Toronto tomorrow. Here in Brantford, well, you'll be back with us on Tuesday night. Tuesday, a rare Tuesday game at 7 o'clock. That one against the Guelph Royals in the final time we play them this season. Barrie going to be cheering for us in that game as they hope to move above Guelph to grab home field advantage for the play-in. For Brian Hawley, for Ryan Kennedy, our entire broadcast team here with the Brantford Red Sox CBL broadcast, whether you're watching us on CBL TV, YouTube, Rogers TV Game of the Week, and no matter where you're watching us from, I've been Marshall Crocker saying thanks very much, enjoy baseball, and go Base Invaders.